Hey everybody, welcome to Dino Brickhaven. I'm Dino. What is going on? Yeah, just putting together the FunWhole Stream 3. 1, 2, 3. The old time Western Saloon, which is pretty darn cool. Right here. People hanging around watching me build these sets. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please give a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. FunWhole. It's really been awesome build. The bar looks great. The poker table, the little giant barrel of whatever wine, whatever gin, scotch. What do you put in a big barrel? I don't know. It's looking really good though, and the lights are little strand lights are going on pretty easy too, and pretty good. But I left off where I'm starting where I left off yesterday. I'm on bag 7. Didn't put the extra work in last night. Just too much stuff going on and doing. But hello, Harry Scott, Edward Stewart, Connie Clary, Sweet Indigo. Hello, Sweet Indigo. I'm going to have to make you a moderator here. Standard mod. Here we go. Good to see you, Jody. Black Roses. I like Black Roses. I'm going to say, listen, Jody's a beautiful name, but Black Roses, 80s slasher horror movie. But anyways, I'm going to be playing some Sam Spade as I build along here. But yeah, FunWhole. This is a fantastic build. Pieces go together really good. The light set so far, even though you got to be careful putting them through each brick, it's made to where they're hidden, and I can't wait to see it lit up. Right now what I'm doing is building the front like wraparound porch is what it looks like I'm doing right now. So yeah, let me bring up my chat on my tablet so I can see everybody as I build. But yeah, definitely good to have everybody here. Hopefully everybody's subscribing. I keep posting over on the other channel just to see and let people know to come on over here. Yeah, I mean, I'm playing old time radio shows too, so little bit of for both worlds, Lego world, FunWhole. What it's mostly Lego, but when I do these builds, like I said, this is probably going to take 4 streams today, and I should be able to end it tomorrow and finish and light it up and then do a review on it. So it is cool. Yeah, Black Roses metal band. Yep. Black Roses was I'm trying to think if it was in a horror movie. I remember here Black Roses is a horror movie, isn't it? From the 80s? I'm not going to look it up right now, but I do believe Black Roses was the name of a horror movie back in the 80s. But anyways, before everybody jumps out of here, thank you for being here. Do whatever in the chat. If you ask a question or something, I will most certainly answer it. Harley, hi. Harley, hi. Hello. How are you doing, Harley? Good to have you in the stream. Welcome to the channel, Dino Brickhaven, where, yes, I play some old-time music. Not music, old-time radio shows. Tonight it's going to be Sam Spade. And as I put this together, it's my first FunWhole set, and it's been fantastic so far. I love it. And I love the Old West theme, too. So with that said, let's go ahead. And it's definitely good to have you here, Harley. Always good to see new names. I do got a Lego City over there that I'm going to be updating a video soon because I've moved a lot of things around so that it makes sense. I've got like a city block on the one end now, which actually looks really cool. I was going to make like one long main street and then have another street turning around to make another long street. But I like the city block that I put on the other end, and got a lake with a cabin area all the way on the other side. So if you haven't seen my Lego City updates, please go check those out. You can see the progress as I make them. I definitely try to do one every 2 weeks at least to let everybody know what it's looking like and the moves I'm making and stuff like that. So Without further ado, I got a lot of work to do on here yet. I've got 12 bags. I'm on 7, so that means we're halfway. I'm on stream 3. I want to get this done at the end of the 4th stream. So, yeah, let me put this together. Again, thank you guys all for being here. Let's listen to some Sam Spade. We're going to do, let's see, which one am I going to do? Caper Over My Dead Body, 1950, Sam Spade. Caper Over My Dead Body. Here we go. This is going to be fun. I love Sam Spade.
In response to requests representing millions of listening friends, the National Broadcasting Company is pleased indeed to bring you again The Adventures of Sam Spade, Detective.
Hello?
Me, sweet. What number have I got?
Sam Spade Detective Agency, but...
Well, me, sweetheart.
Something's happened. Call me later, Dwight.
Dwight yet? Look.
I didn't know you were in town. You didn't write to me or...
Effie.
Yes?
This is me in the flesh, Sammy the Spade. Oh, now what?
Goodbye.
Effie, I'm in a payphone. My nickel is running out.
Oh, Dwight, how can you be so cruel and play jokes at a time like this?
Wait, listen. Ella, you listening?
Yes.
I am not dead. Don't believe everything you read in the papers.
Huh?
Or hear on the radio.
Yes.
You were at my funeral. Is that what you were about to say?
Yes. And it was lovely.
Don't believe that either. Stay right where you are, sweetheart, because I'll be there, alive and handsomer than ever, with an account of a caper which proves you can kill some of the people part of the time. My exaggerated report on the death of Sam Spade.
NBC welcomes back to the air a character who has captured the public imagination more completely than any other since the birth of Sherlock Holmes. William Spear, radio's outstanding producer-director of mystery and crime drama, brings you the greatest private detective of them all in The Adventures of Sam Spade.
Ain't it grand to be bloomin' well dead? Candles at my feet, candles at my head.
We're not open for business today. I mean, Mr. Spade's office is closed right now because...
I'll wait.
Oh, you look just like Mr. Spade. What's your name?
Spade. S-P-A-D-E. Spade.
Sam never told me he had a twin brother.
He doesn't.
But then you...
I'm me, Sam.
Oh, no,
Oh, wait, come here.
Something's wrong with Effie.
Now do you believe me?
Well, I know.
Oh, what's the use?
Oh, you're so much like him.
Oh, never mind. Now get your pencil and paper and take it. Date November 17th, 1950. To Miss Effie Perrine.
That's me.
From Samuel Spade. That's me. License number 1375596.
You must have been the last one to see him alive. Did he tell you to give me a message?
Shut up. Subject, my death. Dear Effie, since the sight of me in the flesh, breathing, hungering, and living doesn't convince you, maybe this report will. Think, if you can, back to last Monday. Now, if you recall, it was about 11 o'clock when, on the flimsy pretense that we needed stamps for the office, you drew $2 from petty cash and stepped out to buy a pair of step-ins. And that's when my client materialized. He was small and thin and carried with him the unmistakable odor of stale flowers. His black alpaca suit, string bow tie, elevator shoes, and white gloves had no bearing.
I thought I hit... Hopefully that's our one Sean Vaughn. It looks like him. It sounds like him. Anyways, yeah. Much love, everybody in the chat.
On his conversation.
Oh, dear. My name is Chester Swan.
Are you sure?
Yes.
My name is Spade. What can I do for you?
How tall are you, Mr. Spade?
6 feet in my feet.
Weight?
178.
I always notice a man's bone structure, don't you?
Oh, always.
Open.
Huh?
Open. Let me see inside.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Fine.
Oh, well, now that you know me this well, Mr. Swan, what can I do for you?
Oh, dear. Perhaps I shouldn't have come here at all. I'm sorry, Mr. Spade.
Well, really?
Oh, dear.
Oh, hello again, Mr. Swan. You wanted to talk to me?
Yes, but I can't talk now. Mr. Spade.
Still here.
There. I live at 8516 Claremont in Berkeley. I'll be there tonight. Oh, dear.
This time, as he made his exit, he left $50 on the edge of my desk. And so, stupid me, I was at 8516 Claremont at the close of the day. It was a small white cottage with green shutters and a white picket fence. There was a hill in back and a brook in front. The sun was beginning to set on it, and it was all very picturesque. In fact, so much so that a girl with red hair, blue jeans, purple smock, oils, and canvas was making it immortal. She liked me immediately.
Here, hold this.
Certainly.
Like it?
Oh, yeah.
This is my first landscape. I'm a sprouting artist.
Obvious. Makes your own?
Not when I can get somebody to do it for me. Who are you?
Oh, I might be a fellow artist.
Don't do that. You're a liar. You're Sam Spade. I saw your picture in a newspaper clipping when I was helping Chester clean out his desk before he moved it.
But I...
You don't know an easel from a palette?
Oh, but I could learn.
I take it seriously.
Oh, then so do I.
I doubt it. You've never tried to get away, to stand off, to throw off the shackles, have you?
No. I'll have to admit that the urgency of living, the pressure of merely existing, has had to...
Catfish, Sam. By the way, I'm Amy Goodrich.
Catfish?
The world is full of unhappy people who never try to get away from it all.
Well, honest...
Stop it.
But I wanted to, really.
Honestly, Sam, get away from everything. Leave, dissolve.
I've dreamed of it.
Never return.
Cross my heart.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing here?
To see Mr. Swan.
He isn't home yet. His house is a wonderful subject. Look, Sam, colorful, moderate, pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
That is until the sun stops shining. But picture it at night in the fog, crushed with barrenness, full of death, brooding, ominous. I'm trying to capture that, too. It's what we've got to get away from, isn't it?
Absolutely. You and I...
Sam, as you start up the hill on Claremont, there's a green apartment house on the right. I'm in 420.
Well, maybe we'll find a way out together.
Maybe.
I waved her a fond farewell and sat on the steps of my client's house until he showed up at 6:15. He took me inside where the only furniture was an army cot and a portable barbecue.
I'm so glad you kept our appointment, Mrs. Spade. I'm so frightened. I've been upset all week long. I didn't know what to do. I just didn't.
And what have you been so upset about, Mr. Swan?
Well, lately, Mr. Spade, infrequently, for the last week, I've noticed a man. I think he's following me.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I'd see him in a car.
Oh, I'm talking and I got the mic off. Listen, I'm putting the light on the ceiling in the saloon, and the sticker, it's a sticker. Like you peel it off and stick the light up there. I'm hoping that holds. It's moving around a bit. We may have our first issue. Anyways, here we go.
Following my bus when I went downtown. Then he'd be waiting around at the bus stop in the evening when I came back.
Oh.
I've sold my house, and I'm ready to move. It's unnerved me so much, but...
Did he follow you home tonight?
No, but
well, would anyone be following you, Mr. Swan?
Well, I don't know, Mr. Spade. I don't know. I really don't.
All right, I'll try another tack. What does this man look like?
He always wears dark clothes and a hat. I'd say he was about your height.
6 feet.
I remember. Maybe heavier. Same bone structure, though.
Yeah, you haven't been to the police.
Oh, dear, no. A man in my business can't afford off-color publicity.
No? What kind of business is that?
The Bonton Mortuary.
Oh.
25 years. Ooh. Same location. Oh, and I've worked hard. So very hard. And if there's something behind all this, something that has stopped me from being made the executive secretary of the Undertakers Breakfast Club when they hold their annual election next month, I don't know what I'll do, Mr. Spade. I just don't really know what I'll do. I just don't.
Oh, go ahead, Mr. Swan. You'll feel better. Just let it all out. Just really do. And he did. When he stopped crying, I instructed him to go about his daily habits as always and left, assuring him I'd get to the bottom of it all. I walked down to the corner ostentatiously, which is a neat trick well calculated to throw nefarious observers off the track and lull them into false security. And when the bus showed up 10 minutes later, I got on it, rode 3 blocks, walked back, and took a plant across the street. A clever ruse, as you see, to invite a showdown. 2 hours later, a man about my size and dark clothes appeared over the hill and crept stealthily to the front of my client's cottage. He had his eyes glued to the window when I walked up behind him.
Hey, let go of me.
Come on, you're going inside.
Listen, I'm no peeping Tom.
No, you're the bloodhound type. I'm inviting you in for a real sniff at your
Oh, no,
party.
you don't. Well, all right, then. I'll go quietly.
Okay, that's better. Now we'll just walk on. The kick he landed on me wasn't according to Queensberry. I couldn't move for 3 or 4 minutes, and by that time he disappeared. When I recovered my faculties, I reported the incident to my client, who cried himself to sleep. After I bolted him in for the night, I stopped on my way down the hill at apartment 420 in the little green apartment house. She was still wearing the blue jeans and the purple smock, and she still had the same ideas.
Come in, Sam. You said you were serious about getting away from it all, and a whole day has passed.
It was that pressure of living. I'm here to apologize.
You are not, but go ahead.
I'm sorry, Angel.
I love to be fooled, Sam. You're forgiven.
How's the painting coming? The one of Swan's cottage.
Slow. Fog.
Finally got it.
Tough.
Geez, that was hard to
Nice,
put
though.
in.
How long you been on it?
3 weeks all told.
Well, then you've had a pretty good plan on the house, haven't you? Ever notice a tall, broad-shouldered guy in a dark suit casing the place?
Tall.
Yeah, rest in peace,
broad-shouldered.
Bob
Pretty much like
Newhart. And hey
Could
there,
anybody be pretty
Broken
much
Bone
like you,
Bricks.
Sam?
Good to see you.
No, you're right.
Still putting the saloon
Sam,
together.
is there
Hopefully
something
tomorrow's the last
No,
day.
no.
Well, then don't stand there doing nothing. Do something.
Who, me? Amy fixed me a small dinner which had a strong turpentine taste to it, and then we mixed oils and painted and made fudge. Next afternoon at the Hall of Records, I did a little spade work on Chester Swan. His application and permit to practice undertaking in the city of San Francisco were dated 1938. Details: unmarried, 52 years of age, graduated from mortician school in Ohio, listed one living relative, nephew, Theodore J. Swan, Toledo, Ohio. I was gathering the above information when I smelled whiskey over my shoulder, which is always good luck. It was Al Torrington, who was also in the private investigation racket in this city, and he was leaning, peering from my face to the card that I held in my hand.
Did he get over to you too, Sam?
Who got over to me, Al?
Him? That thinny with the...
Yeah, it's coming together not as quick as I was hoping. It's because of the lights that come with the set. Which is going to add a really cool ambiance to this bar, saloon, Old West feel. So, I mean, it's going to be worth it in the end, but got me caught up in a couple spots, but not too bad, not too bad. Otherwise, I'd be whipping through this. But yeah, it's coming together pretty quickly.
Tears. What's his name? My eyes ain't so good.
Swan, Al. Chester Swan, mortician.
Yeah, that's him, Sam. The same one exactly. Came to my office 2 weeks complaining about somebody following him. And he did nothing about it. Said I was too fat.
Oh, well, you are, Al. Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. And some other of the boys said he was around there, too. Wanted a private eye, but he wanted a man who looked just right.
How right?
Obviously as right as you are, Sam, because it looks like he picked you. Yeah.
Is today your birthday, Harry? If today's your birthday, happy birthday, of course. If not, happy early birthday or late birthday, whatever. Happy birthday, Harry!
Yes, F, it did look like he picked me. And I thought that over, and I didn't like it. And I called my client at home to tell him he was fired, but he didn't give me a chance.
Oh, dear, I'm so glad you
61
called,
on
Mr.
Monday.
Spade. I really
Excellent.
am.
I called for a reason, Mr. Swan. I'm resigning this case.
Oh, dear, Mr. Spade, you can't do that. You really can't.
I don't think you've been quite honest with me, Mr. Swan.
Oh, dear.
Tears will get you nowhere. I made a routine check on your reasons for hiring me, and they don't quite fit with the reasons you gave. They really just don't quite, Mr. Swan.
It's no game, Mr. Spade. Believe me. He's back tonight. Right now, he's standing beneath the lamppost outside my window, and I'm frightened to death. Please hurry over, Mr. Spade, and let's get this business straightened out. Please, please.
And stupid me, I went over. And I found that little white cottage on the hill looking grim and gaunt in the heavy fog. Amy's words about it being crushed with barrenness, full of brooding and death came back to me. And Mr. Swan's frightened words about a mysterious man in dark clothes waiting beneath the streetlight also came back to me, particularly when I noted there was no streetlight near the house. However, there was a light somewhere in the rear of the house, and the front door was ajar. Oh, Mr. Swan. Mr. Swan, are you here? Oh, Mr. Swan, it's me, Sam Spade. Are you here?
Mr. Spade? Is that you? Are you out there?
Where are you? Things happened fast. I turned around to find the front door filled with a man in a dark suit. He had something in his hand. It looked like a roll of cotton candy, but it felt different. It only staggered me against the wall, but it made me forget where my arms were.
Easy, Spade. Easy does it, boy. Easy.
He let me down to the floor gently. I could still see the lights somewhere in the back of the house, and I could hear him talking way off.
Take off his coat, quick.
I
Quick,
can't.
give me the needle.
Hurry. I can't watch. I'm going upstairs.
The needle went somewhere in my left arm, but not before somebody pulled my coat off, and for no reason I could think of at the moment, also tried to pull my finger off. Well, I couldn't dwell on it. By that time, the stuff in my arm was going other places, and I was going with it, even though there was action all around me.
This ought to do it.
No, stay away from me. Get out of here.
Vaguely, somewhere, somebody was shooting Roman candles or having blowouts or playing bebop. I just didn't care at all. I just didn't. The first thing I saw was sunlight. It was the kind you see in a picture. It was a picture of a little white cottage with green shutters. You guessed it. I was in Amy's apartment where we made fudge together. I got to my feet somehow.
Right here. I've had it here for 2 days.
Fudge.
We'll have to figure out the best thing to do with him, though.
I knew the best thing to do with me. There was a fire escape in a window. I got out there and I weaved against the wall.
He's gone. He's gone.
What do you mean he's gone? He couldn't have gotten away with that load he was
I
carrying.
don't know. He was unconscious when I left.
Well, don't
him.
just stand there. We've got to do something. There might be trouble. Now, let's get going.
I didn't wait to find out what they were going to do. I made my way down the fire escape and started walking for the street, and that's when I noticed my shoes.
Yeah, they're all moderators for the channel, Broken Bones. I've known them for a long time. So, yeah, as somebody sticks around long enough and becomes part of the channel on a regular basis, I decide on whether to make a moderator or not. All of these people I definitely know from my other channel. So, yes, definitely, that's what it's for. So, much love to everybody.
Didn't fit me anymore. They weren't mine. And neither was the gray flannel suit with the label marked Tidkeys. Neither was the blue shirt. While I was at it, the ring on my finger engraved Emerson High 1936 wasn't mine either. My new belt buckle had a big letter T on it, which is not my initial. It really isn't. And I didn't have any use for the eyeglasses in my coat pocket either. You were out when I walked in the office, F, but you'd been there. There was a black crepe done up in a white satin ribbon hanging on the door. The desk blotter was drenched with salt tears, and a newspaper folded back to page 13, and I'll sue the Chronicle on this if it's the last thing I do, gave me a 2-inch spread. Item, November 15th, 1950. 15? What happened to the 13th and the 14th? Detective perishes in Berkeley fire. I read it through once, then twice. It was my obituary.
You are listening to the first in a new series of adventures involving radio's most famous detective, Sam Spade.
I don't mean to keep interrupting the show, but yeah, no, you're right, Chris. Listen, there are some little things that it takes some dexterity with the fingers to work with the little pieces like that. So, because my fingers and my hands are bigger than they look, but it takes some technique and getting used to once you do. And hopefully you got a good view of that front porch where the wraparound porch is starting to come together. I think that looks just awesome. Oh, I just love it. I can't wait. Can't wait till it's done. Loving all the details. Anyways, back to the show. I won't interrupt this. Let's finish it out.
Later tonight on most NBC stations, Duffy's Tavern comes your way with another merry half-hour session, starring Ed Gardner as Archie the manager. There's a full serving of laughs garnished with chuckles and whipped up by Archie and his unpredictable friends, Miss Duffy, Clifton Finnegan, and Eddie the waiter. It's just one of the many great Friday evening entertainment features on NBC. It's Duffy's Tavern, your cue for better listening where the three chimes always mean good times. Make it a Friday evening habit to tune early and stay late at your favorite NBC station. And now back to Caper Over My Dead Body, tonight's adventure with Sam Spade.
I left the crepe on the door and went out to buy a new desk blotter and some more newspapers. The Hobo News had the best story, which wasn't much. Samuel Spade, licensed private investigator, perished Wednesday night in a fire in a vacant house in Berkeley. His warm friends will feel regret at the passing of a man who was always kind to the poor. None of us ever asked Sam Spade for a handout without receiving a kind word and bon mot as he turned us down. This was nice, but I wanted more. Figured I was fairly safe to wander about unrecognized. My ill-fitting attire required from my unknown benefactor would be disguise enough when combined with my 2-day beard. Engine Company 16, Berkeley Division, had handled the fire, and half a block away was a grog shop called the Shamrock. I waited for a fireman to come in.
Bartender! Bartender! What kind of a place are you running now? I've been here 5 minutes already.
All right, shut up, Patty. You just arrived.
Well, it seemed like 5 minutes. A wee bit more there, if you don't mind.
That's enough for you, Patty. You're still on duty.
I am not. I'm off now. The chief said I could be off. It ain't every day I receive such a shock to me system.
You received your shock 3 days ago.
And I'm still shaking, man. Oh, the sight of him was terrible, terrible. Burnt as black as the good saint's beard. All twisted and horrible in death.
He was probably dead drunk and didn't know what happened to him.
And were you there fighting the flames and finding him like me? Oh, it was terrible, terrible, terrible. Terrible.
It wasn't that bad, and you've had your limit.
And who says so?
I say so.
Oh, you do you? And who are you?
Your brother-in-law.
Well, now.
Well, maybe I can spot you one, Peg.
I never drink with strangers. What's your name?
O'Doolin.
Well, you heard the man. Go ahead, pour. Cheers.
Yeah. Fireman, you had a terrible experience 3 days ago.
Oh, that I did, Mr. O'Doolin. That I did indeed, that I did.
I've heard it a dozen times. I'll be at the other end of the bar.
'Twas 3 nights ago, Mr. O'Doolin, and we get a call to the house on Claremont is afire. Well, sir, when we get there, it's about all gone. Can't understand why it went up flames so fast.
Wood.
It was the funeral pyre of a man who lived in sin.
Huh?
A detective fellow. Sam Spade, he was identified as. Ooh.
Oh, one moment, Fireman. I've heard fine things about him.
Ah, some of those uppity police fellas from the Division of Homicide said he was a nice fellow. But some of the boys at the fire station and myself, well, we got our own ideas about that.
Oh, what kind of ideas, Paddy, me boy?
What kind of good can any man be accomplishing in an empty house late at night, I ask you, Mr. O'Doolin? Oh, he was done to a turn, he was, when I burst in the door with me axe. Saved Satan the trouble.
Charred.
Empty whiskey bottles scattered all about. Sin, O'Doolin, sin. He'd gone to sleep with a smoking cigarette that set the whole place off. Vice rampant.
From there, I went downtown to a telegraph office where I sent a wire to Toledo on a long chance. And while I was waiting for an answer on a not-so-long chance, I slunk into the Bon Ton funeral parlor to pay my respects to the departed. I stood in the back of that dimly lit chapel and scanned the scene. 3 of the boys from Homicide were there, blowing their noses. 2 chorus girls I thought had long since forgotten me were there in black, deep V-necks. My insurance man was there, looking awful worried. 1 Chronicle reporter with photographer, and a shoeshine boy from our building, and the bailiff from the courthouse, just to mention a few I could make out. And you were there, Effie, up front near a closed casket. I made out a bower of flowers from robbery detail. It said, "Goodbye, Sam." Maxie from the city morgue was the only one who looked at ease.
All right.
Does anyone wish to, you, miss?
Many called him Shamus, but I called him friend. On this
What the heck was
last
that?
paper,
I was touched, Effie, and I would have stopped the whole thing then and there, but I had to find out who was in that casket. I reeled out the front door with tears in my eyes and slid around to the back door and into Chester Swan's private office. And there I made a phone call and got an answer to my telegram, which caused me to make another call to his bank. By that time, most of it was right in place. A search through his desk revealed nothing, and a safe standing in the corner the same. But then my answer walked right in the door.
Oh, Sam, darling, I was so worried when I found you'd left, but I saw you at the funeral and I thought you'd be here.
And the guy was with you? Was he worried, too?
Oh, him. That was Dr. Jesslyn. Sam, you'd been out for 2 days, and I didn't... Oh, Sam, you're safe. You got away from it all. You've escaped, darling.
Yeah. They're burying me right now. I'm dead.
It's so wonderful, Sam.
Only one thing. Where do you fit? The caper. I was supposed to burn up in that fire, and what was left was supposed to look enough like Theodore J. Swan, class of 1936, Toledo, Ohio, to let beneficiary Chester Swan collect a nice pile of insurance money.
Sam, what are you talking about? Who's Theodore J.? What did you say?
Chester's only living relative. They're burying him right now. Somebody lost his caper. You want to tell me?
Darling, I was at the house the night of the fire, working on my foggy picture. You didn't see me when you went in, and later on you didn't come out. And I went over...
And I was on the floor, and a man was bending over me.
He changed clothes with you, Sam, and I screamed, and he pulled out a gun, and I hit him with a hoe. And I drug you out on the lawn.
And then what happened?
I put you in my car and took you home. I was going to phone the police, but I decided it was something you were working on, and I went back to the house, and
it was burning, and you knew the man you'd hit on the head was in there.
Believe me, Sam, I didn't know the house was going to burn down. I wouldn't kill anybody, Sam. I only wanted to...
You only wanted to help me, and you did right, Angel.
Oh, Sam.
That's all right. I'm your witness. You didn't start the fire.
You mean somebody really started it?
Chester. He thought it was me lying on the floor in there. The bank tells me he's about to go busted. He figured this one out with his nephew to scare up some insurance, though. I'm about the same size.
Hold me, Sam. Hold me. It's been horrible. This is the kind of thing I was trying to paint. Now I'm smack dab up against it, and I'm sick. I'm scared.
Easy.
Sam, you're really dead. There's our way out, Sam. Just leave now. Let it go the way it is. They all think you're dead.
Oh, dear.
Huh?
But we know different, don't we, Mr. Spade?
He was holding a Navy Colt revolver in front of him with both hands. I couldn't make up my mind to rush him and count on his bad aim or stand still and be a perfect target while I tried to talk him out of it. Either way, he was a crazy man with a gun, and he was getting ready to use it.
Sam, he's going to kill us.
Mr.
Quiet,
Spade,
Amy.
because my nephew was stupid enough to wear your watch and your suit when he exchanged clothes with you, I'm going to lose the bon ton.
And that puts you in quite a spot, doesn't it, Mr. Swan?
Until a moment ago, yes, but now... Mr. Spade, the newspapers all say you're dead. A death certificate says the same thing. All of your friends are following your casket and my nephew's corpse to the cemetery at this very moment. Everybody expects you to be dead, Mr. Spade.
Thanks to you, Mr. Swan.
But now, nobody'd miss you if I killed you.
I'd miss you, Sam.
But I'd have to kill you, too.
Oh.
Did you notice you're still wearing Theodore's clothes, even his ring? Why, Mr. Spade, I could kill you and put you in a fire somewhere and collect my insurance on Theodore now, couldn't I?
No. Why, that's a terrible thing to think.
Huh?
Oh, you're not reasoning properly, Chester. You really aren't. How would you explain Amy? You just said you'd have to kill her. And what about the coroner's office? You know how they are.
But if I... But
and
really...
don't forget the medical examiner's got something to say, too. Not to mention the fact that you'd have to really burn me up to cover up the bullet hole. And furthermore, Chester, when you shoot me, if you happen to hit a rib and chip off some bone, they'd know I was shot before, and then homicide would be in on it.
Oh, no, stop. Nothing works for me. I'm a failure.
Oh, go ahead, Mr. Swan. Let it all out. You'll feel better. And he did. and he's still crying in his cell downtown. Period. End of report.
Oh, Sam, you were so brave. You actually stood there and talked that crazy man out of murdering you. You were wonderful.
True, Effie? Amy thinks so, too. She's going to do me in oils when they let her out of the pokey.
Amy's in jail? What for, Sam?
Oh, technical charge of an involuntary manslaughter. They'll spring her as soon as the coroner's inquest is completed. Dear Amy.
Did she make good fudge, Sam?
Fudge? Oh, that was the least of it.
Oh? What do you mean?
After the fudge.
What then?
Panucci. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Say, go type that up, sweetheart, while I see if there's any mention of my miraculous resuscitation on the radio page. Go. Scoot.
There certainly is a mention of Sam Spade on the radio page for Friday. Sam Spade is one more in the list of great shows to join up in NBC's Parade of the Stars. Have you heard The Big Show? This Sunday, The Big Show comes your way once again on NBC. Listen to just a few of the star names who will be appearing this week. Bob Hope, Jimmy Durante, Perry Como, Jose Ferrer, Mindy Carson, Eddie Cantor, Meredith Wilson and his orchestra, and many, many more. And, of course, your MC once again will be the lady who invented the snappy retort, Tallulah Bankhead. Yes, it's The Big Show. It's big in music, big in drama, and big in comedy. Be sure to hear The Big Show Sunday.
Well, here it is, Sam. All typed up.
Good. I will sign it, and you will keep it, always, to remind you that I'm still here.
Oh, Sam.
Living, breathing, brave, and handsome. A paragon.
Sam, what will we do about the mail?
The mail? What mail? Where? Which?
All the letters and postcards and telegrams and all that came when people thought you were... Oh, when you weren't good... When they thought you were...
Oh, there have been enough tears tonight, Effie.
Oh, Sam, it's so good to have you back. Will you be the same as you always were?
Well, I'm going to try, Effie.
Because then you can't help but be, like they say, the greatest private detective of them all.
We'll see.
Good night, Sam.
Good night, sweetheart.
The Adventures of Sam Spade are produced, edited, and directed by William Spear. Sam Spade was played by Stephen Dunn. Lorene Tuttle is Effie. Script for tonight's adventure by E. Jack Newman. Musical scoring by Lud Gluskin, conducted by Frank Worth. Join us again next week, same time, for another adventure with Sam Spade. Hear the magnificent Montague, then visit Duffy's Tavern on NBC.
Okie dokie, Sam Spade. There you go. Boom, boom. 3 chimes means good times. A caper over my dead body. A good episode. Man, yeah, you guys are talking about cats and stuff like that. Oh my God. You know, my cat socks, I'll never, when you see a cat suffer, like, diabetes, how old was he? 6 or 7. Somewhere around there, way too early, and the kids just were so heartbroken. Insulin resistance, it didn't matter how much insulin you would pump into into socks. It just was sad. It was terrible, and he wasted away to bones. And I'll never forget that ever. But I love my cats throughout the years. That's for sure. Anyways, enough sadness and smiles. So here we go. I'm going to play another Sam Spade in a second here. You know what? There's some things that just get real tedious, or a mistake that I made that I have to do over. And when I'm live streaming like this, it may seem like I'm not doing much, but you'll see my hands moving. And once it starts getting together, it'll start coming together really quickly. That's for sure. So yeah, I don't want to just, I've never done these live streams before like this, but, I don't know how interesting it is watching me put it together. But yeah, and you know what? I'm saying, a lot more now. I got to get out of a habit. I've been doing YouTube for 9 years, and all of a sudden on this channel, I'm saying, a lot a lot. So I don't know what that's all about. But anyways, I remember you talking about it, Dino. Yes. Nice. See, I said it again. What the heck is going on? What is going on? And where does this piece go? Okay, this is going to be the roof over the porch, I do believe. So I think the porch looks pretty darn cool. It's very narrow, but if you were a tiny person, you could fit in there and go. Anyways, let's see what you guys are saying. That's wonderful. She was born in April. Yeah. Hope the two Zara and Zayas, I hope they're lucky ones that the kids have now, even though they're older, my kids. But they're roughly, oh my God, how old are those cats? I mean, they're very young, so hopefully they have very long lives too. I think the longest I've ever had, and I've always had like pairs of cats throughout my life. The oldest I think that lived was, I think 15. I don't know if I was doing something wrong, but I know that Zara and Zayas is on a good diet of food this time. So trying to do the right thing is just like in real life, people. I mean, pets gotta have a good diet and everything like that too. So, anyways, love to socks. I honestly enjoy watching these build streams, Dino. I wish I could put one together. You're doing this for those of us who can't. Thanks, Chris. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Connie, and thanks, Harry. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people out there who do Lego builds and stuff like that, and so that's what I'm doing. I figure why not show you guys. Why do I keep saying, I gotta get out of that now? Habits. Okay, so here I go. Moving on to the next instructions, and let me see how many. 18 likes, 18 thumbs up. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button when you come in. Hey, D someone, what is going on, D someone? Good to see you. Let's do another Sam Spade. How about the Farmer's Daughter caper from 1950? Let's see, when is that? September 3rd, 1950. Sam Spade, Farmer's Daughter caper. Here we go as I build.
Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic and the new Wild Root Liquid Cream Shampoo present The Adventures of Sam Spade.
Sam Spade Detective Agency.
Me, sweetheart.
Oh, Sam, I'm glad you're back in town.
So am I, Effie, so am I. Confidentially, I didn't think I'd make it. Confidentially, that is.
Was it dangerous, Sam?
I should say it was. Why, for the past 24 hours, I've been at it hammer and tongs over hill and dale, through shot and shell. It was enough to turn any ordinary man's blood to ice and his hair
That's
pure
true,
white.
Chris.
Oh, that sounds terrifying, Sam.
I wish it had been only terrifying, Effie. It was blood-curdling, spine-chilling, hair-raising. I was bored. It was also rural and countrified.
Well, what happened, Sam? Tell me.
You've heard of the Mums and the Coys?
No.
And the Boston Massacre?
No.
Custer's Last Stand?
No.
Well, put them all together, and they spell what I'll shortly begin to dictate, a report which I call, in a burst of clever literary plagiarism, the Farmer's Daughter caper.
The Adventures of Sam Spade, Detective, starring Howard Duff. Produced, edited, and directed by William Spear. Presented by the makers of Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic, the non-alcoholic hair tonic that contains lanolin. To look your holiday best, friends, be sure to use Wild Root Cream Oil, America's favorite hair tonic. Wild Root Cream Oil grooms your hair neatly and naturally, relieves annoying dryness, removes loose, ugly damp.
By the way, I'm out of Yoo-Hoo. I need to go get more Yoo-Hoo. Chocolate Yoo-Hoo. Nice and cold out of the fridge.
What's more, it's non-alcoholic and contains soothing lanolin. Get Wild Root Cream Oil in the big family-size bottle or handy tube. Ask for it at your drug or toilet goods counter very first chance you get. For the holiday and all year round, use Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic. Again and again, the choice of men and women and children, too. And now, with Howard Duff as Spade, Wild Root brings to the air the greatest private detective of them all in The Adventures of Sam Spade.
Effie,
I'm right here, Sam.
pull up all the shades.
All right, Sam.
Now, turn on every light in the place.
But it's daylight.
Do what I say.
All right, Sam.
Now, check the closets.
But what for?
For snipers. What do you think?
All right, Sam. Nobody here.
Okay. I guess it's safe to come all the way in.
Oh. What's this all about, Sam? I don't understand.
Effie, it's just that I don't ever want to be caught in the dark again, especially when people are shooting at me. I want to see every nook and cranny of every square foot of land that surrounds me.
Sam, who was shooting at you? Where?
They were shooting from the left, from the right, from up above, down below, everywhere. Death was winging in on every breeze that blew, and they all blew my way.
Oh, Sam, now stop this. I'm just dying of curiosity.
When my time comes, I hope that's all I ever die of. Ready?
Yeah.
Date this week to Mr. Elliot Parson, Parson Drive Yourself Garage, 1618 St. Charles Street, San Francisco 13, California. From Samuel Spade, license number 137596. Subject, the farmer's daughter caper. Dear Mr. Parson, I fear you have an explanation coming, one that you can pass along to your insurance company as to why the car I rented from you last week appeared as late as it did and in the condition it did. As you know, I rented said vehicle to drive to Middletown to bail a client out of the drunk tank. On the way back, a native showed me a shortcut, and I'll get him if it's the last thing I do. Dusk was falling, and so were my eyelids, when I saw a sign that said tourists invited. Behind it stood a ramshackle farmhouse in a surly woodland setting. I should never have knocked on that farmhouse door, but then I wouldn't have had any story to tell, would I?
Good evening, young man.
Good evening, madam. I'm afraid I need a room for the night.
Well, of course you do. Land sakes, you're tired. I can tell by your eyes. Been on the road long?
Too long.
Land sakes, of course you have. Come in, please.
Thank you, ma'am.
You'll find this is the homiest tourist home in California.
Really like mother's, eh?
Like your grandmother's.
Huh.
No electricity, no phones, just quiet.
I see.
Now, I have two rooms, a $3 one and a $5 one. Which one do you think you'd like?
What's the difference?
One less blanket, one squeaky spring, and with the $3 one, you might have to take a walk.
I'll take the $5 one, thank you.
I'm Mrs. Elkins. Mrs. Bert Elkins. Who might you be?
Sam Spade.
Spade? Land sakes, that's a very unusual name. And who are you traveling with, Mr. Spade?
I'm alone.
Oh, I mean what company? We only accept traveling salesmen. You realize that.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm traveling for the makers of Mouton mustache wax.
Oh, use it all the time.
You are well grown.
Yeah, this is an older set by FunWhole. That's the one thing that drives me nuts and takes a little bit of time, is peeling off all these stickers to put on these tiny little pieces. When you have printed pieces and you don't need to do the stickers, you can fly through building the sets. You can just fly through them, doing them really, really quick. Again, I don't come across a whole lot of stickers on Lego, although they do have their number of stickers. Fantasy is one that prints all their pieces, not really any stickers. FunWhole has had a lot of stickers on a lot of their sets, but I think they're starting to do more printed pieces in their newer sets. So, but this is what's taken so much time. I don't even mind the lights, but the stickers seem like I've got 4 wooden planks here, and I've got to put 4 wooden stickers on there to make it wooden. You know, it just takes time. Time I don't have. Anyways, whatever.
You will go far, young man.
Yeah, but before that, I'd like to go to bed.
Well, come on. This way.
She led me upstairs to my $5 room and left me. As lumpy as it was, the bed invited me, but I decided to shave first and thus facilitate an early start in the morning. I poured myself a drink out of my traveling bar kit and then stepped in to shave. It wasn't easy because all I had for light in there was an oil lamp. When I came back to the bedroom with the lamp in one hand, I stopped short in utter surprise. I'd heard about these things in traveling salesman stories, but I never expected to see it. She was sitting in an armchair smoking a cigarette. High heels, silk stockings, light rayon dress, and a face right off the cover of Cosmopolitan.
Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Mary Smith.
Huh?
Hope you don't mind me just barging in.
Well, no. Well, no, that is,
Afraid I'll bite you?
It never entered my mind.
Well, I might. I'm so tired of talking to myself, I need someone like you. You know, you're not bad to look at.
Who, me?
Where do you live? What do you do for a living?
Well, I guess you'd call me independently wealthy. I wish someone would.
How nice. San Francisco?
There must be some fog on my lapel.
Look, Sam, I'll give it to you straight. I want to get out of here, go to San Francisco. Could you take a passenger tomorrow?
Well, what would your mother say?
She's my aunt. What do I care what she says? I don't belong on a farm. Out in a wet pasture ruins my nylons. I'm a city girl, Philadelphia.
Why did you leave?
My parents died. Look, Sam, I won't be a burden to you. I just want to get to San Francisco. After that, I'm on my own. Sam, take me with you. Please take me with you. You won't regret it.
What am I going to do with this lamp?
Who cares? Oh, Sam.
What?
I thought I'd find something like this going on in here.
Aunt Maud,
Get out of here. Go back to your room, young lady. Go on. Now, Mr. Spade.
It does look bad, doesn't it?
Oh, I'm not blaming you, Mr. Spade. Nan,
She's treating him like
her.
little kids.
She ain't responsible for what she does. She's like this all the time.
I see.
Now, when I go out, you just lock your door. Just keep it locked.
But, ma'am, this is a $5 room. A sleepless hour later, I heard something slide under my door. I looked and found it was a note that read, Mr. Spade, Sam, please unlock your door, and when the house is quiet, I'll come and see you. I'm desperate, terribly, terribly desperate. Don't leave me. Give me a chance to tell you what it's all about, please. Stupid me, I unlocked my door, dressed again, and waited. An hour and a half later, I heard my doorknob turning in the dark. The door opened quietly and quickly.
Sam, the things that go on in this house, they're insane.
Oh.
I've been here 3 months. When my father died, I had no money, and because Aunt Maud was my only relative, I came here. And ever since I came, they never let me out of the house for more than an hour. They never let me see anyone or do anything.
Why?
I wish I knew. 5 days ago, Uncle Bert left early one morning. He hasn't come back since. Aunt Maud says he's away on business. He doesn't have any business.
Yeah, well, even so, that doesn't seem strange to me.
Then there's my dog.
And what about it?
It disappeared the same night Bert did. They told me it ran away. I know it didn't. I've had it for 3 years. It never ran away.
Yeah, once these stickers go on, they stay on, though. I know
I could hear
that
it howling
much.
somewhere
So.
for 2 or 3 nights. Then the howling stopped. I think I know where it is, but I don't know why. It scares me.
Well, where do you think it is?
Sam, you're going to think I'm crazy right out of my mind, but, well, about 150 yards behind the house, there's a hillside with an old cave in it.
Oh, an old cave.
I don't know what it's used for, but yesterday I saw the whole front end of it closed with dirt. Sam.
Did you see where she says there's an old cave? And Sam Spade really quickly goes, there's an old cave? An old cave? Like, questioning, like, of course all caves are probably old, right? But did you hear that in his voice? I almost want to go back a second. Here we go. Let's see if I went back just like 20 seconds. Let's listen to that again, because that was interesting. When she says old cave, he comes back and says, old cave? Like he's questioning her, like, of course it's an old cave or something. Listen.
I think I know where it is, but I don't know why. It scares me.
Well, where do you think it is?
Sam, you're going to think I'm crazy right out of my mind, but, well, about 150 yards behind the house, there's a hillside with an old cave in it.
Oh, an old cave.
I don't know what it's used for, but yesterday I saw the whole front end of it closed.
Why is that funny to me? He goes, oh, an old cave. So she's talking about, there's an old cave. And he's just like, oh, there is an old cave? Why is that funny to me? Oh, my God, that's funny. I'm nuts.
They buried that dog alive in that cave, I know it.
Oh, wait a minute now. Did you ask Mrs. Elkins?
Yes. All she said was the dog ran away and mind your own business. She told me to leave the cave alone. Sam, let's go out there and look. Please.
Well, So big, brave, stupid Sam, idiot boy, allowed her to show me the back way out of the house, and we sneaked to the barn together. She found a shovel, and we walked to the cave. When my eyes got accustomed to the dark, I saw the entrance had been covered with dirt, and recently. I took the shovel while she stood watching. I cleared half of the dirt away and worked as quietly as I could, but apparently not quietly enough. A flashlight suddenly hit both of us in the face, and a shotgun barrel flashed in the beam.
Get away from there before I shoot your head off.
Point that thing someplace else, please, ma'am.
Just what do you think you're doing, mister?
Digging.
Mary, you get back to the house.
No. Aunt Maud, I won't.
Get back to the house before I count 3, or I'll put a load of buckshot right through you. Now, 1.
Aunt Maud, my dog is in there.
2.
All right, I'll go.
Now, Mrs. Elkin, suppose you put that gun down and tell me what this is all about.
I got one thing to say to you, mister. Get in your car and get out of here, and don't waste any time doing it.
But, madam,
your suitcase is in the car, and your $5 is with it.
Yeah, but...
Now get, before I shoot you as a trespasser. And I could do it, mister. Land sakes, I could do it. Now get.
So I got under guard to my car. I got in and drove off. And was in the driveway with the shotgun still pointed at me until I was out of sight. I turned left at the first crossroad, parked the car, and cut through the woods back to the farm. I could see a light in the living room. Nobody was in or near the barn. And when I got to the cave, there wasn't a sound anywhere. I picked up the shovel I dropped and started digging again. 30 minutes later, the shovel broke a small hole through into that cave, and a stifling blast of fetid air rushed out, and something leaped out at me in the dark. And it wasn't the dog. It was a human hand on a human arm.
The makers of Wild Root Cream Oil are presenting the weekly Sunday adventure of America's favorite private detective, Sam Spade. Now, here's important news on good grooming. If you want the well-groomed look that helps you get ahead, socially and on the job, listen. Recently, thousands of people from coast to coast who actually purchased Wild Root Cream Oil were asked, how does Wild Root Cream Oil compare with the hair tonic you previously used? The results were amazing. Better than 4 out of 5 who replied said they preferred Wild Root Cream Oil. Remember, non-alcoholic Wild Root Cream Oil contains lanolin. It grooms the hair naturally, relieves dryness, and removes loose, ugly dandruff. So if you want your hair to be more attractive than ever before, get the new 25-cent get-acquainted bottle of Wild Root Cream Oil, America's leading hair tonic, on sale at all drug and toilet goods counters. It's also available in larger economy bottles and the handy new tube. By the way, smart girls use Wild Root Cream Oil, too, and mothers say it's grand for training children's hair. Get Wild Root Cream Oil. Again and again, the choice of men and women and children, too. And now, back to the Farmer's Daughter Caper. Tonight's adventure with Sam Spade.
In a night already full of surprises, I should have been ready for the next one, but I wasn't. The loose earth, which had blocked the entrance to the cave, suddenly fell away, and I fell with it. Then I heard something like nothing on earth. Nails dragged across my face, taking skin and flesh with them. I twisted and went down, and something went down with me. The snarl became a voice.
Bury me alive! Bury me alive! I'll kill you! I'll kill you!
And he did his best, which was pretty good. Finally, I got a good hold on him and sat on his chest. After that, I lit a match and looked at a tall, thin man in his middle 40s. He was caked with mud from head to foot. His hands were impossibly torn and bleeding. I could guess why. Judging from the stubble on his face, he'd been bottled up in that cave at least 5 days. How he was still alive, I didn't know. He acted like a madman, and he had every right to. But surprise, when his eyelids fluttered open again, he read a very sane line.
I'm all done in. You got a drink, friend?
Not on me.
They hit me on the head and left me there. They thought I'd stay in there forever. Forever.
Who put you there? Who did it?
But they couldn't keep me there. I dug my way out, didn't I? Didn't I? I dug my way out. Didn't I?
The force of the bullets knocked them halfway back down the incline to the cave. All I could do was hit the dirt. Finally, when it seemed safe, I broke cover and ran smack into somebody carrying 2 bags.
Oh, no, please.
Let's have a look at you.
Sam, it's me. Sam, I knew you wouldn't go away without me. I knew it. I couldn't stay in that awful house any longer.
None of that now. Who was that shooting at you?
I don't know.
Where's your aunt?
In the house, I suppose. I slipped out the back way.
Any visitors tonight?
No. What is it?
I think I found your Uncle Bert. Come on. I led her back to the cave entrance and showed her the body of the man I'd dragged out. I watched her face a long time as she looked at him very carefully.
That's not Uncle Bert, Sam.
Really?
No. It's Mr. Linden, a jewelry salesman. Came to the place a few nights ago.
5 nights ago?
Yes, come to think of it.
The same night your uncle disappeared. Tell me, did you ask Mr. Linden to take you back to San Francisco the same way you asked me?
I...
Did you?
Yes. He said he would. He got up early and left without me.
You didn't get far. What kind of car was he driving?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Do you drive a car?
Yes, but
Here. Mine's down the road about 500 yards. Go to the nearest phone and call the highway patrol, a sheriff, anybody who represents law. Got that?
Yes, I know exactly what to do.
To make sure we were both thinking of the same thing to do, I followed her in the dark, watched her get into the car I rented from you, and drive off. Then I turned around, put a new clip in my gun, and walked back to the old homestead. It was still very homey. By the light of an oil lamp, Mrs. Elkins was peacefully knitting what looked like a shroud.
Why, Mr. Spade?
Why, Mrs. Elkins?
Land sakes.
Land sakes. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get down to business.
If you're here to make trouble, young man, believe me, I can handle trouble. My kind of stock know about trouble.
Well, suppose you tell me about the trouble I just had, or haven't you heard all the shots that were fired around here tonight?
Shots? My.
My.
Seems I would have heard gunshots.
Seems you would. Look, I've got a sheriff on the way.
Have you, Mr. Spade? Why?
I suppose you didn't hear the shooting.
Oh, yes, I'd forgotten. Was anyone hurt?
A man named Linden. He's dead.
Linden. Now, that sounds familiar.
It should. He stayed here 5 nights ago. He was a jewelry salesman.
Yes, now I remember. You say he's dead?
Somebody tried to bury him alive in your little cave.
How awful. I do declare.
I thought you would. Well?
You must be joshing, Mr. Spade.
I'm not joshing at all, Mrs. Elkins.
Well. Buried alive, you say?
Look, let's talk just like plain folks. Where's your husband? Where's the jewelry samples you probably stole from Linden? Is there anything else you want to say?
Gunshots, eh? Well.
I left the sweet old thing knitting and rocking and made my way through the house looking for guns, jewelry, and killers. I got downstairs in time to see Mrs. Elkins disappear out the front door. When I tried to follow, I stumbled over the rocking chair, which was indeed a lucky thing for me. After a few minutes of silence, bravely crawling on my stomach, I followed the shadows of the house until they blended into the shadows of a large, hulking building, which happened to be the barn. Inside, I bumped my head on the radiator of a car. Naturally, I didn't find any keys in it, but I did find a familiar jewelry salesman-type mud-soaked corpse. I was trying to remember how to cross ignition wires. I heard the hum of a motor and saw 2 headlight beams swinging up the driveway. They lasted as long as any other lights. The car came to a lurching stop, and a thick-set figure in a Stetson hat stumbled towards me, tugging at a gun.
That burn gall-blame cuss thing,
Undo the flap.
Oh, thanks. Huh? Put your hands up, whoever you are.
You be the sheriff?
You're dead blame right on the sheriff. You're dead blame right on the sheriff. Who are you? What's the idea of shooting the lights out my car?
My car.
Oh, you Slade?
Spade.
Well, I'm Homer Pickett, sheriff of this county. The girl come, woke me up, said all sorts of funny things going on around here. Said there'd been a murder. Now, who's killed? What's going on, Stan?
Sam. Well, for one thing, somebody's been trying all sorts of ammunition on me for size.
You don't say.
I do say, Mr. Sheriff.
Why?
Because I found a man in a cave who'd been left there to die.
Want to look at the corpse?
You can look at him right here. He's sitting in this car.
So, yeah. How'd he get here?
Somebody moved him here.
Shouldn't have moved a corpse till the police examine it.
I didn't move it.
Huh?
Now, listen closely. Listening?
Huh?
I found the man. He was still alive. Then somebody shot him.
Shouldn't have moved him.
Then they tried to kill me because I found him. When they didn't kill me, they decided to hide his body.
Illegal.
They probably intended to drive away and dispose of it so there'd be no evidence when an efficient, smart, alert, courageous police officer like yourself came around to ask questions.
Hey, that sounds reasonable. Who's behind all this?
Well, Mrs. Elkins threatened me once and tried to kill me once.
Maud! Well, land sakes.
Well, that's her, yes.
I want to talk to her. Where's she?
Roaming the countryside with a gun, no doubt.
Well, let's clear all this up. See what it's all about. Now, who's this fellow in the car?
His name's James Linden.
Got a pencil? Better write that down. Tilden, huh?
Linden.
Well,
By any strange coincidence, Sheriff, you happen to know a man named Dundee, San Francisco homicide?
Lieutenant Dundee, old Tom.
Old Tom, yes.
Shucks, I learned everything I know about police work from him.
Yeah, well, that figures.
And law's law. Dundee always said.
Yeah, I've heard him say it, Sheriff. But...
And I am to enforce it around here. One side, Mr. Slade.
Spade. Hey, you'll be sorry. Well.
Now look here, all you Elkins. This is Homer Pickett talking, and I ain't no small-town constable. I'm the sheriff of this county. You'll get a square deal from me, but first I order you in the name of the law to throw down your guns. Well? My.
You all right?
Nothing but my feelings hurt. Oh,
I warned you.
I thought that'd do some good.
Well, now you know. Hey, look, maybe it did do some good.
I'm giving up, Sheriff. I'm giving up. It's me, Mrs. Elkins.
She came across the farmyard as the first light was showing in the eastern sky. Her hands were above her head. One held a shotgun.
Maud! Get back where you belong, Maud!
We could hear, but we couldn't see him. Maud stopped, hesitated for a moment, and then began running towards us. She almost made it. I ran out to drag her back, expecting any second to be the target for the night. There was a sudden and curious silence as I pulled her into the barn. She was still alive.
Thanks. That man's been missing everybody all night. Never thought he'd be able to hit me.
Easy.
I come from good stock. I'm no criminal, Mr. Spade. Sheriff, you know that.
Yeah, I know, Maud. I know.
Let me take a look at you. You'll be okay.
Don't blame Bert too much. He wanted to have money once in his life. So when this man came along with all the jewelry, Bert went out of his mind, I guess. He put the man in the cave. And the dog, too. So the dog wouldn't call attention to him. And then he took the man's car, went into San Francisco to try to sell the jewels and the underwear.
No luck, huh?
Bert says they laughed at him. The jewels were just paste, samples.
And he came back and found me at the cave, and he figured he had to knock us both off.
I just stuck by him all the way. Now he's like a tiger that smelled blood. No telling what he'll do.
We'll have to get help, Spade. Roadblocks, bloodhound.
No, this is his land. He won't run. He'll hide here.
Where?
Why, in the cave.
Well, I reasoned, one, that no matter how much a man loved his land, he was not going to let himself be trapped in a cave with only one exit. And two, it followed, therefore, that if he did hide in the cave, there was more than one way out, which the late Linden hadn't found. Sheriff Pickett volunteered to watch the front of the cave while I looked around for a rear exit. After a 20-minute search, which netted me nothing, I remembered the car parked inside the barn and how quickly Elkins had carried Linden's body to it. I went back there and took a look around. In a corner of the barn, I found a trail of dirt leading to a bale of hay. When I moved the bale, I found, you guessed it, a trap door. I pulled it open, caught a familiar whiff of used-up air, and lowered myself into a black hole that turned out to be a passageway. I cautiously made my way forward in the darkness for a few yards.
Who is it? Who is it?
I pressed back against the dirt wall, listening to him approach. When I figured he was close enough, I threw a cloud of dirt toward him across the passageway. His gun flashed and lit up the whole place for a second, and I fired 3 times at the silhouette. I waited, then I went towards him. He was lying on his back. I kicked his gun away, and when I bent over him to feel his pulse, he suddenly came to life. Something crashed against the side of my head, and everything became darker than the inside of a cave. The next thing I knew, I was looking at a pair of red-rimmed eyes. Several minutes had gone by.
Thought you was a goner for sure. You ain't used to this country fighting, are you?
Is this country liquor, Sheriff?
Yeah.
Give me.
Here.
Yeah, country liquor. Tell me, Sheriff, did you by any
Why,
chance...
sure. Of course I did. I got him, Slade.
Period and a report.
Sam,
Hmm?
do you mean to tell me you let a little country sheriff outdo you?
Well, Effie, Homer Pickett's coming up for re-election next fall, and besides, you might think I was egotistical if I told you how it really ended.
But your reputation. You're the greatest private detective of them all.
And so I can afford to be generous. Now, not another word. Scoot, type that up.
If your supply of Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic is getting low, better make a note to get some more tonight or first thing tomorrow. Remember, Wild Root Cream Oil is the famous hair tonic that grooms your hair neatly and naturally, relieves dryness, removes loose dandruff. Always keep a big bottle or tube on hand. And ask your barber for a professional application of Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic. Again and again, the choice of men and women and children, too.
Here it is, Sam.
Let me see. Here. F. You rewrote the ending.
I had to, Sam. You're much too modest.
And Sam Spade, with a knot of cold fury in the pit of his stomach, a vindictive fire in his eyes, stepped wearily over the loose rocks in the cave floor to do battle with the thing that loomed up in the darkness ahead.
Mm-hmm.
The thing's roar filled the night with terror. But Sam Spade, dauntless and knowing not fear, stepped up to the monster, laughed in its hairy face, and with one quick convulsion of his powerful shoulder muscles, dropped the thing in its tracks. I see. Well, is that the way you think it ended, Effie?
Oh, Sam, I guess I was being a little foolish. I'll change it.
No, as long as you've done it this way, we'll leave it this way. Can't waste paper.
No, I'll change it, Sam.
Leave it!
Oh! Sam,
Yeah?
I copied that ending out of an old Black Mask magazine.
You what?
Yes, Sam. Don't be mad.
Come here. Come here. I copied that out of an old whiz-bang.
Oh, Sam. Good night.
Good night, sweetheart.
The Adventures of Sam Spade are produced and directed by William Spear. Sam Spade is played by Howard Duff. Lorene Tuttle is Effie. Tonight's adventure with Sam Spade was written for radio by John Michael Hayes and E. Jack Newman. Musical direction by Lud Gluskin, with score composed by Pierre and Renee Garrigang. Join us again next Sunday when producer William Spear presents another adventure with Sam Spade, brought to you by Wild Root Cream Oil. Again and again, the choice of men and women and children, too. This is Dick Joy speaking. Here's an exciting new shampoo that's grand for all the family. And here's our own Squeaky to tell you about it.
Look at your hair. Is it stringy and dull? Does it only cover your skull? The Wild Root Liquid Cream Shampoo is just the thing for girls like you. Gleams your hair, know what I mean, and leaves your hair squeaky clean.
Squeaky clean?
Squeaky clean. Wild Root Liquid Cream Shampoo.
I like that version of the commercial. I like that. That's kind of cool. I like that. Yeah, so that was Sam Spade, the farmer's daughter. The Cave. It is coming along really, really good. I got the lights underneath the porch here, the front porch. It looks better in person than it does on video, but again, I'll do a full review after I'm done. And put the front on here, everything like that. Even got the bones there, which is pretty cool, the cattle bones. And the lights are stretching over here, probably going to go to another set of underneath the porch. So it looks as if the first floor light set is going to do the whole front porch and the inside of the bar area. And the second set of lights is going to be on the second level, where I know that there's a giant chandelier, so I'm going to be interested when I get to that. But it's looking pretty good. I like it. I like the doors. The swinging doors are really cool, which I actually have to push that one back so they look. But yeah, I like the doors. Really, really cool. Definitely an old West saloon. Again, it is taking some time. I am hoping I can get to some of this later on, because I want to catch up, and I don't want to make it 5 streams. But if I got to go 5, then I got to go 5, whatever. Put a large build it yourself cabinet together today. A Lego set with 75 bags would have been easier. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Red. Thanks. Looks great. JLR, what's going on? Good to see you. You need a tiny camera which slowly drops into the saloon to show the depth of the room. If I could do that as I'm live streaming, I would. I'm still figuring out camera angles and stuff like that for the live streams like this. But once I'm done, I am going to get the full interior, very close-up full interior of everything, so that you guys can see every little detail of how this looks, because it looks pretty cool. But anyways, let's continue. It's 8 o'clock. Let's continue with the Lazarus Caper from 1948. Sam Spade. This is also September 12th, but 1948, 2 years earlier. Lazarus Caper. Here we go.
The Adventures of Sam Spade, Detective. Brought to you by Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic, the non-alcoholic hair tonic that contains lanolin. Wild Root Cream Oil. Again and again, the choice of men who put good grooming first.
Sam Spade Detective Agency.
Listen, you phone down to the drugstore and tell them to send up 3 gallons of black coffee.
Who is this? Are you sure you have the right number?
I'm sure I've got the right number, but I'm not so sure who I am.
Oh, Sam, it's you. You must have had a frog in your throat. Did you oversleep?
Effie, don't say things like that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sam. Oh, you poor dear, you've been working. You're tired, that's it.
Tired? I've only just brought Lazarus back from the dead.
Well, then you better get some rest, Sam. You can dictate your report tomorrow.
That's what you think. Now stay where you are. If I'm asleep when I get there, wake me up. I'll be right down to dictate my report on the Lazarus Caper.
Dashiell Hammett, America's leading detective fiction writer and creator of Sam Spade, the hard-boiled private eye, and William Spear, radio's outstanding producer-director of mystery and crime drama, join their talents to make your hair stand on end with the adventures of Sam Spade. Presented by the makers of Wild Root Cream Oil for the hair. Next time you buy hair tonic, be sure you buy Wild Root Cream Oil. For you see, Wild Root Cream Oil gives you these advantages. It grooms your hair neatly and naturally, relieves annoying dryness, removes loose, ugly dandruff. Wild Root Cream Oil is non-alcoholic and contains soothing lanolin, so much like the natural oil of your skin. Yes, friends, next time you buy hair tonic, look for that famous name, Wild Root. Get Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic. Again and again, the choice of men who put good grooming first. And now, with Howard Duff starring as Spade, Wild Root brings to the air the greatest private detective of them all in the adventures of Sam Spade.
Effie!
In here, Sam, in your private office.
Yeah, private, she says. I'd like to know what's private about it.
I have everything ready for you, Sam.
What's this?
Ovaltine, to relax.
I don't want to relax. I don't dare.
Oh, there you go again, Sam. Going on nerves. How long do you think you can keep it up?
With your help, I'll be in a coma inside 3 minutes.
Thank you, Sam. Now, you just lie down here on the couch, and I'll take your shoes off.
Now, look,
And I can take dictation while you relax.
Nuts. Where's that black coffee?
Sam, you're angry with me. Your eyes. Please don't glare at me like that, Sam. I can't bear it when you...
I am not glaring. I'm trying to keep them open. Now, sit down. I got to keep moving around.
Oh, you
moving
shouldn't
around.
drive yourself like this, Sam.
Please, Effie, please. Date, fill it in.
Well, it's your life. Go on. Burn yourself at both ends.
Let's see. A.J. Tatspaw, claims manager, All Risk Insurance Company, Tide Building, San Francisco. From Samuel Spade, license number 137596. Dear Sir, the following is an accounting of my services to your company in connection with a claim of Emma R. Lazarus on the life of the assured Timothy R. Lazarus. The latter called at my office yesterday at approximately 11:30 a.m. He was tall, bald, gray-faced, and dusty. He looked as if he'd been buried and dug up several times.
This may sound like a poor sort of jest, Mr. Spade, but my name is Lazarus, and I want you to bring me back from the dead.
Well, sounds interesting. Why did you die? When did you die? And how did you die?
I was declared dead by the appellate court of the state of California August 28th last year by reason of 7 years' absence.
Who took it to court?
My wife, Emma.
Insurance?
Yes. My wife and I agreed between ourselves to insure my life in the amount of $100,000 that she would collect on legal presumption of death after my disappearance and continued absence for 7 years. That's the law, Mr. Spade.
Yeah, it's been tried a lot of times. What went wrong in your case? Wife double-cross you?
If that's your attitude, I'm afraid I've come to the wrong man.
Uh-huh. You're still in love with her. Well, that makes it tough. You know they'll nail her for perjury if you prove you're still alive?
But that's why I didn't go to the police. Even though we'd planned the deception together, she had reason to believe that I was actually dead.
Suppose you cover the whole thing from the beginning, Mr. Lazarus.
Yes. I married her back in 1940. And for a while we were happy. And then she became restless.
You mean you were not able to support her in the manner to which she was accustomed? She was young, lovely. You wanted her to have nice things, but on your meager salary, it was impossible.
Oh, I know it's an old story, but life is like that.
Well, you said it.
Yeah, well, there you are. I was assistant cashier at the Golden Gate Bank.
Oh, no, not that.
I started taking small sums at first, meaning to repay them later on.
Look, let's not go through the whole script. How much did you embezzle?
$20,000.
Yeah, so you decided to take it on the lam before the auditors came in, and...
I was going to give myself up, but Emma wouldn't let me. We made our plans that night, and I left for Mexico the following day. In Mexico City, I had plastic surgery done on my face, and then I settled down to wait the 7 long years until I would be declared legally dead. I suppose you might call it poetic justice, but just before the end of the 7th year, I contracted
He's telling
malaria.
him his whole background.
I was confined to a hospital for more than 11 months.
You have had it.
Oh, the doctors gave me up for dead and asked me to notify my next of kin. I gave them Emma's address. I never notified her to the contrary because it seemed to fit in so well with our plan.
Too well, huh?
Yes. I'd been to see her, and she refuses to believe that I am her husband. Oh, of course, my appearance is very much altered, but there must be some way to prove my identity.
You worked in a bank. They must have taken your fingerprints.
I removed them from the files and destroyed them.
How are your teeth?
My teeth?
Teeth. Who was your dentist here in town?
Dr. Smith, the Drake Professional Building.
He'll still have your dental x-rays on file. They're as good as fingerprints. You go there this afternoon. Don't give your name. Tell them you're Mark Humboldt. Have a new set of x-rays taken, and I'll do the rest. What's your wife doing these days?
Why, Emma's married again.
Who's the sucker?
Pardon me?
The man.
Oh, he's a doctor. Dr. Ernst Wilhelm.
Wilhelm?
He's quite well known, I believe.
Yeah, and the cops would like to know more. Now, about my fee.
Mr. Spade, I have no money.
Oh, that's great. You have no money, and all you want is to hire a man to bring you back from the dead. And the more I succeed, the less chance I'll have of collecting.
If I might make a suggestion, Mr. Spade, I don't know the ethics, but perhaps the insurance company? You would be doing them a great service.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think you're going to live, Mr. Lazarus. They can't keep a good man down. I'll collect from them. I knew there wasn't a chance in 100,000 of shaking a fee out of your company. After all, you have your own investigators in the payroll, and contract work isn't deductible under the new tax law, but something about Lazarus had gotten to me. Something else about him got to me at the Blue Bottle Bar and Grill, where I stopped for lunch.
Mr. Spade.
Yes, indeedy.
I'm Emma Wilhelm, Mr. Spade.
Emma Lazarus Wilhelm?
I see you do know who I am. May I sit down?
Slide in, Mrs. Wilhelm.
Thank you. I'm glad to know you have a sense of humor, Mr. Spade.
Hmm?
It's about that man, of course. Surely you didn't believe a word of his story.
Which word?
Oh, I'll admit there are slight traces of the truth in his raving. My first husband, Timothy Lazarus, was an embezzler. He did disappear, and it's quite true that I have collected the insurance on his life. I might even believe that Tim is still alive. But that man is not he.
Then what are you so upset about?
Oh, it's perfectly obvious what he wants. He's an extortionist.
You're wrong. He doesn't want money, Mrs. Wilhelm. He wants you.
Oh, Mr. Spade, how much do you know about my husband?
Which one?
Don't be flippant.
Dr. Ernest Wilhelm. He made his first million panning lead nuggets out of gang war casualties and lost it on the stock market. He cut his second million out of Nob Hill and called it surgery. He lost that on horses, blinds, and malpractice suits. The last time he was mentioned in the paper, there was a big picture of him pumping sleeping pills out of the stomach of an aging burlesque queen. It may or may not have been coincidence that she did not recover and that she was the ex-girlfriend of one of our better-known racetrack haberdashers, and if he got $100 for the job, he was paid off in boodle.
Oh, please.
Haberdash.
Please don't say any more. That poor girl. And he'll do the same thing to me.
Well,
If you persist in helping that imposter, you'll be responsible for whatever happens to me or anyone else you involve.
mm-hmm. Anything else I should know?
Yes. Both you and your client are being watched and followed. You can't escape him. He's not quite the has-been you'd like to think he is.
After she had gone, I scraped the tears off my butter, finished my lunch, washed my hands with a nationally advertised soap, and mushed over to the Drake Professional Building. I found my client's dentist in his lab polishing up a set of gold inlays.
Humboldt? Oh, yes. His x-rays have come through. Only set today. They're on the clamp there. Don't touch them. They're not dry yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's your interest? Police identification?
You guessed it.
Always happy to cooperate.
Thanks. How about digging in your files for the x-rays on a patient named Lazarus?
Oh, yes. Be glad to, of course. Well, let's see now. Larrabee, Lavelle, Lawrence, Lawson, Gluskin. That's G. What's that doing here? Ah, Lazarus. Timothy R. Is that your man?
That's the name.
Oh, Jimmy, April 1940. Should have been in for dental hygiene. Have to remind Miss Baker. That's my nurse.
These pictures, how do they compare with this new set?
Well, now, let's have a look. Switch on the light there, will you please? And let's see. Malocclusion, lower bicuspids, impacted third molar. Ah, erosion inlay. Yes, it's very interesting.
You mean they're the same in both sets of pictures?
Oh, dear, no.
A man's mouth could change a lot in 7 years, couldn't it?
Yes, especially with dental neglect, but that would never cause a man to grow new teeth.
Oh, well.
You see here, Humboldt has one more lower incisor and 2 more molars than Lazarus. And the whole character of the mouth is different. Now, these 2 men would not look even faintly alike.
Well, could there have been some mistake in filing?
Oh, dear, no. Miss Baker's been with me for 10 years. Never made a mistake yet.
Mm-hmm. Could I talk to her?
Not in today. Been out since Tuesday. Cold. Oh, say, by the way, you're a detective. How's this for a mystery? She phoned me this morning and thanked me for sending a doctor around to examine her. Now, this is the peculiar part. I have no recollection of having done so, and I'm not acquainted with the doctor she said I sent her.
That wouldn't be a Dr. Ernst Wilhelm.
Why, yes. Wilhelm. That was the name.
Do her another favor, will you? Call a doctor you do know and tell him to get over there as fast as he can. Come on, open up.
Keep your shirt on, and I will come in as fast as I can. What
What you want, kiddo?
Which is Miss Baker's room?
She's sick. Ain't having no callers.
I'm her doctor.
Oh, you can't fool me. Where's your little black bag?
If I had one, it would be around your neck. Now, Marge, show me the way.
You can't force me. I know my rights.
Oh, you do you? Well, it might interest you to know that your vents are faulty, your wiring is illegal, your drains are unsanitary, and your apron is dirty.
Them's rust stains. I'm neat as a pin.
You're as neat as a mud pie. Now, get going before I have the Board of Health down on you.
All right, but you can't make me climb them stairs.
Come on.
Got sciatica, I have. Here's the keys.
Okay.
First door to the right. And whenever she's gone, I hope you catch it.
Thank you, Elsa Maxwell. She was stretched out on a bed, her left arm twisted under her and her right dangling over the edge. On the floor beneath it was an empty pill bottle. A few red capsules were scattered near it, and some more were spilled out among the bedclothes. It was a standard sleeping pill suicide scene, but I didn't believe it. The body was still warm, but no pulse. I didn't waste time giving her the mirror test. Instead, I looked around for a phone. It was on a table near a window. I meant to dial the police number, Sutter 12020, but SU was as far as I got. It felt like a bee sting or a quick jab with a needle. I spun around and swung out blindly. The face that I missed was suntanned under a shock of iron gray hair. It was wearing the same white-toothed grin that Dr. Ernst Wilhelm always wore for newspaper photographers. I started towards him, and he backed away, still grinning.
Come ahead, Spade. Come and get me, but hurry. You have only 20 seconds more. Shall I count them off? So far, you have 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The floor kept dropping a foot at a time as I walked toward him. But every time I got to the bottom of the incline, it tilted up the other way, and I slipped back. He kept dropping out of sight, and every time I got him back into my line of vision, he was farther away. The walls of the room opened out and disappeared into some clouds. The ceiling spun around faster and faster until it whirled away like one of those flying discs. Then the floor turned into gelatin, and I sank into it.
The makers of Wild Root Cream Oil are presenting the weekly Sunday adventure of Dashiell Hammett's famous private detective, Sam Spade. Now, here's important news on good grooming. If you want the well-groomed look that helps you get ahead, socially and on the job, listen. Recently, thousands of people from coast to coast who bought Wild Root Cream Oil for the first time were asked, how does Wild Root Cream Oil compare with the hair tonic you previously used? The results were amazing. Better than 4 out of 5 who replied said they preferred Wild Root Cream Oil. Remember, non-alcoholic Wild Root Cream Oil contains lanolin. It grooms the hair naturally, relieves dryness, and removes loose, ugly dandruff. So if you want your hair to be more attractive than ever before, get the generous new 25-cent size of Wild Root Cream Oil, America's leading hair tonic, on sale at all drug and toilet goods counters. It's also available in larger economy bottles and the handy new tube. Get Wild Root Cream Oil. Again and again, the choice of men who put good grooming first. By the way, smart girls use Wild Root Cream Oil, too. And mothers say it's grand for training children's hair. And now, back to the Lazarus Caper. Tonight's adventure with Sam Spade.
The dream lasted about 300 years. Around Christmas time in the year 2247, another bee stung me. I opened my eyes, but the lights on the tree were too bright, and Santa Claus was bending over me with a brandy breath.
Come on, man. Come on. Little willpower. You're conscious. That's it. Sensation returning. Here, try and sit up.
The girl. How about her?
Too late. Did everything I could. Suicide pact?
Well, one of your brothers in Apollo was a little too handy with a needle. Here's the mark on my arm, and you'll find one on that stiff. Those sleeping capsules were a plant to make it look like suicide.
You'll be feeling better soon. Now, come along. Up on your feet. Must keep moving. Restore circulation. Hip. There.
Thanks. You the man Dr. Smith called?
Yes. So you're a private detective. How do you feel now?
I'm still dopey. You give me something to pick me up?
I've given you as much stimulant as it's safe to administer. For the rest, you'll have to sleep it off. And you will. I advise you to hurry home. Get into bed before this wears off.
How long have I
he's
got?
jacked up with
A couple of hours
stimulants.
if you keep
Jeez,
moving,
that's
maybe
not
3.
good.
Yeah.
But if I were you, I wouldn't stay out. Don't want to fall asleep in the middle of Market Street, get run over by a bus.
Worst things can happen to you in your own bed. Look at her.
Murder. Think you can prove it?
I don't know.
I couldn't. Not on her. And I've been an autopsy surgeon for 20 years.
Well, cheer up, Doctor. If you miss on her, you may get a second chance.
Huh?
Yeah, me.
Mm-hmm. Well, those eyes are looking better. I think you'll live.
I wasn't so sure. Unless I could nail Wilhelm before my 3 hours was up, it was a safe bet he'd nail me again with that needle. He had done me one favor. He'd convinced me that my client was really the man he claimed to be and that Wilhelm and Emma knew it. My best hope of smoking him out was to dig out some solid proof. I spent 10 minutes of my 3 hours getting to the Hall of Records and 10 more finding out there was nothing there on Lazarus but his death certificate.
This is a long
I had
final
a gander at
roof.
the wanted file at police headquarters. They'd checked him out in August of 47 when the court had pronounced him dead. I looked at my watch. With 2 hours and 17 minutes of wakefulness left, I just didn't have time. I stopped by Lazarus' hotel, got a set of his fingerprints and several samples of his signature, took them to a penman I know down on the Mission, and between us we forged the most amazing set of documents ever assembled on one man. All dated, notarized, certified, witnessed, registered. One even bore the great seal of the state of California and the signature of the governor. I squeezed them all into a large briefcase, propped my eyes open with toothpicks while I drank half a gallon of black coffee, then phoned Dr. Wilhelm's night number. I told him I was one of Russian Leo's boys, and a cop had just winged me on the lam from a jewelry store job. He agreed to meet me at his office. Hello, Wilhelm.
Yes?
Is that all you got to say to the guy you knocked off an hour ago?
I'm afraid I don't quite follow. Who are you?
Look, I know that you know, and you know that I know. They even wrote a song about it, so let's get off the dime and don't reach for a needle. This gun is bigger and it shoots farther.
Well, I can see you mean business. What do you want?
First, I want to show you a few things. Here, take a look.
Stickers.
Hmm? Well, this is very impressive.
Yeah, I thought you'd be impressed. You, need any more proof that Lazarus is Lazarus?
What's the matter, Spade? Getting sleepy?
Don't get your hopes up. I can squeeze this trigger in my sleep.
Mm-hmm. Are these papers for sale?
Why do you think I brought them to you?
What's the price?
Half the take on Lazarus's insurance.
That's very high.
I haven't finished. This time, Lazarus has got to be really dead, and you're going to do the job. Come on, stop stalling.
I can't do that.
Why not?
Why, Emma, she'll make trouble. She said she would.
She's still in love with him?
Why do you say that?
I just wondered. What reason did she give you for not wanting him knocked off?
Well, the cops work harder at identifying a dead man than they do a live derelict that looks and talks like a crank. I had the same idea myself.
Then you're stupid. With him dead, she can tell any story she wants to. With him alive and all this proof of identity, he's in a position to nail both of you for fraud, conspiracy, perjury. Shall I go on?
One thing. Does Emma know about these papers?
Sure.
You're lying.
Sure I'm lying. And those documents are forgeries if that's the way you want it. I haven't got time to argue. I can't stay awake much longer, and you can't bring it off without me. I'll have Lazarus at my apartment in 30 minutes. Bring your needle and the 50 grand.
All right, Spade. I'll be there.
Sleep well, Black Roses.
I made 2 phone calls on my way to pick up Lazarus, one to Emma and one to Lieutenant Erlinger of Homicide. Dundee was asleep. The lieutenant and Sergeant Poolhouse were perched on the fire escape outside my window, and Emma was waiting in the living room when we got there.
Tim,
Oh, my poor darling.
Emma, you recognize me.
Of course, darling, from the beginning. But I didn't dare speak out in front of Ernst.
I know. Mr. Spades told me.
Now, listen to me, you two. You sure you can go through with this?
Oh, are you sure there's no danger?
That's him now. Come on, Lazarus, get in the bedroom there. Now, do what I told you.
Don't worry, Emma.
Oh, I'm so frightened.
Quiet.
Hello, Spade. I got here just at... Emma, what are you doing here?
Mr. Spade phoned me. I agreed. It's the only thing to do. I wanted you to know that.
Well, I'm glad to see that you've come to your senses. For a while there. You see, you were wrong, Spade.
Did you bring the stuff?
Here's your money. I have the hypodermic in the case here. It's already loaded. We won't need a sterile needle. Where is he?
In there on the bed. He was asleep a minute ago. The grogginess that had kept coming back over me in waves for the last 2 hours swirled over me again as Wilhelm leaned over the bed where Lazarus lay, stretched out with his eyes closed. For a split second, I blanked out, and I was afraid it had already happened. But then I saw Wilhelm's hand coming down at an oblique angle toward Lazarus's forearm. Then my vision blurred again, and my arms felt too heavy to lift. It was Emma's scream that jolted me back. I clawed out blindly.
Drop it. You let go of it. You get it in your own arm. Let go. Swine, you double-crossing.
Now, here's a little sleeping medicine for you. Okay, boys. Come and get him.
Good boy, Sam. Good boy. We won't forget this.
Yeah, a likely story.
All right, get that broken glass, Polehouse. Put it in the Dixie cup. Now, handle it careful. We want to analyze that medicine.
You okay?
Who are these people, Sam? Accomplices?
Yeah, but not for homicide.
What about Ernst? They won't let him go free, will they?
Don't worry. He's out of circulation for good.
Mr. Spade.
Yeah, Lazarus.
I don't know how to thank you.
Yes. You don't know what this means to us.
Yes, I do. It probably means another long separation. The state prisons aren't co-ed. But if you insist on being alive, you have to take life as it comes. Period. End of bedtime story.
Oh, Sam, it's so sad. That poor couple, so much in love. But you had to do your duty, didn't you, Sam? They had to pay their debt to society, of course. That's why you had to be so hard and unrelenting and not give in to your better nature.
That's right. That's right. Never give in to the ship. Don't tread on me. It was Hobson's... what was it that Hobson... you may fire when ready.
You know best, Sam. I just go type this up.
And now, listen to this. A good friend of the family. That's Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic, folks. Wild Root Cream Oil grooms the hair neatly and naturally, relieves dryness, and removes loose dandruff. Now, get Wild Root Cream Oil at your drug or toilet goods counter in a new 25-cent Get Acquainted bottle. Also, ask your barber for a professional application of Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic. Again and again, the choice of men who put good grooming first.
Sam, wake up.
Well, there you go away. Your apron's dirty.
Sam, I'm not wearing an apron.
Then why don't you let me sleep?
Sam, you've got to wake up. Your coffee's here.
And tell them I'm in conference.
No, Sam, no. The black coffee. You said to order 3 gallons.
What?
I couldn't carry it all. I'll make another trip. 24 cardboard containers. You'll have to drink it up fast now. They're leaking already.
Abandon ship, all ye who enter here.
Oh, Sam, what am I going to do with it?
Open a restaurant. Good night.
Oh, good night, Sam.
Number 3 turret, open fire.
The Adventures of Sam Spade, Dashiell Hammett's famous private detective, are produced and directed by William Spear. Sam Spade is played by Howard Duff. Lorene Tuttle is Effie.
Well, that's looking good. I finally got done with bag 7, which I guess when I get to the lights, it's going to make it a little bit harder, but it's worth it. Like, all the lights are hidden. They're all underneath, pinned up underneath the porch roof. And, I mean, I don't know how good you can make that out, but it looks really good. Like, see, the lights just get pinned up underneath there. And, again, I can't wait to complete it to light it all up. I guess next thing I'm going to be building on is the second floor. And this should go a lot quicker. Because I mean, look at how quickly I got done with this, except for the lights. The lights just made it. But I think it's going to be worth it. As long as they go in good and you can't see them, I think it's going to make it way cool. So I do really love that. And I love the cattle, like, bones in the front of the saloon. Everything just looks so darn cool. Hey, Greg, an evening of Old Time Radio. What is going on, my friend? Good to see ya. That is a great edition of The Hobbit, original illustration by Tolkien. Oh, yeah. But listen, one of my favorite stories of all time is The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That's my favorite all-time read, story, whatever you want to call it. Secondly is, I've said it a million times, The Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice. That's my second. So, anyways, yeah, looking good. I'm kidding. So yeah, there you go. The inside of the bar. Again, I can't wait to do a full review. And you know what, guys? This is what's going to happen. This one's taken so long because of I don't know if you guys want me to just continue no matter how many streams it takes, or should this be the last long stream of me building this, and should I work on something else? And when this is done, just do a full review. Or do you want me to just continue doing this? Because it looks like it probably be tomorrow and Saturday that I'd be doing this. And maybe 2 full days I can get it done. I don't know. I really don't know. And I'm not sure if I should move on to something else during a live stream and just continue this off stream. I don't know. Either way, I'm sure you guys would be good too. An evening all the time, mine too. Very cool, yeah. I mean, I would hope that that's probably the favorite of a lot of people. Because, yeah, no long streams are great. Okay, build whatever you want, yeah. I guess it's up to me to decide. I know everybody's like in the process of me building, and I should see it through, but that whole it's 8:15. I still got an hour and something, so I could probably get through bag 8. I've got bag 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'll keep going. We'll see how it goes. So let me get to the next bag 8. Bag 8. And let me go ahead and keep doing it. Okay, Undead. I will do that then. What movie won the poll for what you're doing on Friday? Oh, Friday it's going to be Hellraiser 3. And I actually can't wait to watch Hellraiser 3. So, and that's for people on the Late Late Horror Show or this or what. That's whatever. I don't even care. But yeah, it'll be Hellraiser 3 for movie night on Friday. Tomorrow night. Which means I don't think I'm going to be able to stream then, Connie. Good point. Tomorrow night. So Saturday, definitely. So I'll figure it out. If there's no stream tomorrow because of movie night, Saturday night I will continue this. Maybe it's a good thing. A day off from building it and then come back fresh Saturday and see what I can do. So yeah, there you go. Let's play another Sam Spade. Let's do the Hot 100 Grand Caper from September 19th, 1948. Let's listen to the Hot 100 Grand Caper. It's awesome that we've heard these a million times, right? But they never get old. So here we go, Sam Spade. I heard, who was saying it? Was it Chris, I think? This Sam Spade, he's nothing like Johnny Dollar. Or who else did you mention? I forget. It's Howard Duff. And Howard Duff plays, it depends what role he's in. But Howard Duff is pretty darn good. I enjoy it. I really do. He's no Humphrey Bogart when it comes to Sam Spade, but that's a whole different ball game, right? I mean, anyways, Hot 100 Grand Caper. Here we go. Continuing to build.
The Adventures of Sam Spade, Detective. Brought to you by Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic, the non-alcoholic hair tonic that contains lanolin. Wild Root Cream Oil. Again and again, the choice of men who put good grooming first.
Detective Agency.
This is Sam, Blackleg Spade, the third most dangerous gambler on the Barbary Coast.
Oh, Sam, not horses again.
Horses, women, and the gaming tables, Effie, the versions of the elite.
Well, divert yourself with this, Sam. The phone company has sent the pink notice.
Pay it no mind, sweetheart. We are healed. We have hit the...
Everybody in the chat right now, name your favorite detective, old-time radio detective. Name your favorite. I know for the longest time Johnny Dollar was everybody's favorite, but I think the more everybody's listening to different detective shows, because there's a million out there right now, it's changing. I think mine's always going to be Sherlock Holmes with Nigel Bruce and Basil Rathbone, but I quickly love Richard Diamond. I love Dick Powell as Richard Diamond. I think right now he's my second favorite to listen to. What are your guys's? Tell me in the chat. I'm curious how many have different ideas on what they like. Yeah, Renfield didn't get as many points in the poll, the movie poll, but that's okay. Tell me your favorite old-time radio detective.
Cashier's cage, annexed the pot, broken the bank, and we're standing on velvet.
Sam, are you sober?
Definitely velvet. Warm, too.
Sam, from where are you calling from?
You're wrong, Effie. It's a drugstore. Stay where you are. I'll be right down to deal out my report on the Hot 100 Grand Caper.
Leonidas Witherall. That's your favorite right now, Greg? Interesting. Throwing out, I'm not going to say obscure, but a lot less episodes, at least remaining, but that is a good show. But see, it goes to show you how when we're listening to these shows over and over and over, how we can get attached to a certain story or actor or plots within these stories. So that's an interesting one. Okay.
Dashiell Hammett, America's leading detective fiction writer and creator of Sam...
Sorry, I got to take a break here and read these. So, Undead Caesar, Sherlock Holmes, no, that was before. Sherlock Holmes, Undead Caesar, Richard Diamond, Red, Leonidas Witherall, Evening of Old Time Radio. That's a tough one. Listen, they're all so close, Connie, and at any given time you could change, but yeah, right now, like I said, Richard Diamond's my kind of thing at the moment. Who doesn't like Sherlock Holmes? Well, right, Sweet Indigo. I mean, come on. Love Richard Diamond too. He whistles and sings to Yes, Yes, Yes. Richard Diamond, Sean. Not many of them. Okay. Richard Diamond, Sherlock Holmes, Watson. In that order, Andrea. Richard Diamond. So see, there's a lot of Richard Diamond out there. Was away for a moment. Jeff Reagan is my new favorite. There you go. Stephanie Press, what's going on? Nero Wolf. It's a shame there's not enough Nero Wolf. And as they started to close out that show, Sidney Greenstreet came on to take over the role, which he did wonderfully. But they were already in the process of just not extending that series, which kind of sucked because I would have loved to have had way more episodes with Sidney Greenstreet, but we only get what is there, 26 or not even that many, maybe 20, I don't know, somewhere around there. Jeff Reagan is good. Pat Novak for hire. Unfortunately, there's not. It's hard to fix those ones up, Greg. Have you touched Pat Novak? They're really rough, some of them. But anyways, Pat Novak for hire. I love that series because of the one-liners. Jeff Reagan, another good one where the one-liners are just so good. I love them so much. But yeah, differing opinions, and everybody's kind of all over the board. But yeah, I just thought that'd be a good question for everybody. Back to Hot 100 Grand Caper.
Spade, the hard-boiled private eye, and William Spear, radio's outstanding producer-director of mystery and crime drama, join their talents to make your hair stand on end with the adventures of Sam Spade. Presented by the makers of Wild Root Cream Oil for the hair. It's smart to buy things the whole family can use, isn't it? That's why I say it's smart to buy Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic. To Mom, to Dad, to the children, Wild Root Cream Oil is really a friend indeed. Non-alcoholic Wild Root Cream Oil with lanolin grooms the hair neatly and naturally, relieves dryness, removes loose, ugly dandruff. I hope you have a big family-sized bottle of Wild Root Cream Oil in your home. Get Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic. Again and again, the choice of men who put good grooming first. And now, with Howard Duff starring as Spade, Wild Root brings to the air the greatest private detective of them all in the adventures of Sam Spade.
Date, September 19, 1948, to robbery detail, San Francisco Police, attention Sergeant Walsh. From Samuel Spade, license number 137596, dear Joe. Here's the rundown on that hot 100 grand. It started pleasantly enough when my secretary, Miss Effie Perrine, cute little mouse, eased into my private office, closed the door behind her, and leaned back against it with that air of pained resignation, which generally means there's a customer outside that she doesn't approve of, but that I'll see her anyway.
It's up to you, Sam. She's very well dressed, and I imagine she can afford you.
How do you deduce that?
Well, she dropped her purse. I didn't get time to count it all, but there was a $100 bill on top.
Well, sure, in, Effie.
Sam.
Go ahead, say it.
Oh, I don't know, Sam. Sometimes, well, does just money...
No, that's one of the reasons I hire you. What's the matter with it?
Nothing. That's just it, Sam. She's very good-looking, cultivated, and very kind and considerate. And she seems sincerely troubled.
You mean her act is a little too good?
I felt that too, Sam.
Thanks, Angel. I'll keep that in mind. Tell her to come in.
All right, Sam. Mr. Spade will see you, Mrs. Kilcourse.
Thank you. Thank you for seeing me, Mr. Spade.
My pleasure. Won't you sit down?
Oh, thank you. I'm Lorraine Kilcourse, Mr. Spade. It's about my husband, Leonard Kilcourse.
Husband? Oh.
We've only been married a short time. It was a quiet ceremony at the San Cedro Mission. Leonard didn't want to subject me to any publicity. The difference in our ages, you know?
You mean you want me to keep it a secret?
Oh, no, except for the newspapers, of course. Naturally, all of Leonard's friends know.
Oh, he doesn't have many, from what I've heard.
I've thought it strange, too, that such a prominent man should have such a small circle of acquaintances. I met him only a short time before I married him. He's been very kind and absolutely devoted to me, and I suppose I should feel ashamed of myself for coming to you. But there are so many things about him that are mysterious that sometimes I can't seem to find my handkerchief.
Here. Kleenex.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
I take it you're not a San Francisco girl.
No, I met him at a dude ranch.
Well, maybe I can clear up some of your mysteries for free. The reason your husband doesn't have many friends
Say at a
is because
dude
they keep
ranch.
dropping
Bunch of
dead.
dudes.
I don't understand you.
Forget it. He's a big public servant. He's built a lot of sidewalks. The streets of this city are paved with his good intentions. His name is on 1,000 manhole covers. If the names of his former business associates land on headstones, it's nothing to me. I got my own racket. Well, what?
I think my husband is paying blackmail to someone.
Uh-huh. And upon what do you base your suspicions, Mrs. Kay?
It started about a month ago. He began withdrawing large sums from our joint account. First, it was $10,000, then $20,000, and last week, $50,000. And this morning, he closed out the balance of the account. $100,000.
Yeah, well, he's got it to spend, Mrs. Kilcourt.
Well, I won't pretend the money doesn't interest me, but what's behind it, Mr. Spade? Each time he withdraws these cash sums, he leaves the house without a word to me. And sometimes doesn't return until dawn. My husband is not fond of nightlife, Mr. Spade. Only a desperate situation could induce him to leave the house after dark.
Yeah, so I've heard. They say that's how he kept his health as long as he has. All right, you want me to trail him, find out what he does with the money. Just one question. Why'd you pick me for the job?
Why, your reputation...
That's local. You say you're new in San Francisco.
Well, I do read the local papers. Your picture was in only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, that caper didn't help my reputation.
I like your looks. A nice, honest face. A man I could trust.
Well, I don't buy that.
And I'm sentimental, too. Your picture reminded me of someone who was very dear to me. My brother. Of course, you're nothing like him, really, but you do look alike. I suppose that sounds like a silly woman's reason for...
Yeah. What's your address?
Well, I have a little place of my own out on Divisadero. The Balboa Apartments near Normandy Terrace.
Mm-hmm.
You'd better keep in touch with me there. I don't want Leonard to know. The Kilcourse mansion is at 1316 Clarendon.
1316. Mm-hmm.
He returns from his office around 6 in the evening. Do you have a car?
No. I need one?
Well, I don't know where he may go. Now, here are the keys to my car. It's parked in front of the main entrance, a gray Plymouth. He won't recognize the car. It's my brother's. Now, about your fee.
$100 now. If I need more, I'll leave you know. I had an uneasy feeling I would need more. The last detective that tried to follow Leonard Kilcourse had hospital insurance. I don't. But I'm a gambler at heart, so I parked Lorraine's Plymouth across the street from the Kilcourse mansion and waited. At 9 p.m., Mr. Kilcourse, much too old for her, came out the front door and flagged down a taxi. I made an illegal U-turn and followed. The trail ended across the Golden Gate Bridge in Marin County. It was a country club-type building on top of a hill overlooking the bay. It did business under the name of Ernie Nogales' Racket Club. The racket had nothing to do with tennis. It came from two sources. The moans and groans of the customers losing money at the roulette wheels and crap tables, and the glad hand the management threw at my quarry as I followed him in.
Well, Mr. Kilcourse, surprised to see you. Since when you go out after dark?
Well, I thought a little nightlife might agree with me, Nogales.
Oh, that sounds like you, Mr. Kilcourse. I didn't know you better. I think you was afraid to go out night.
Well, now, I was thinking of buying this place to retire to. But I figured it'd be cheaper to win it at your roulette table. What's your limit here?
10,000, but for you, wide open, the sky.
A hot $100,000 for a starter?
Well, any time they catch you with hot money, Mr. Kilcourse. Come over to the cashier. I sell you the chips myself.
I didn't have to bother making myself inconspicuous. Everybody in the joint stopped playing to watch Kilcourse while he shoved his $100,000 roll through the cashier's window and scooped up 4 stacks of $1,000 chips.
Make your bets, please.
All right, you. Spin that wheel.
Huh? How much you got there?
$25,000. Any objections?
Is that okay, Mr. Nogales?
Spin it, Joe. I'm covering through the table person.
Okay, sir. Around and round the little ball goes. 15 pays, 15 and the red.
Maybe next time, Mr. Kilgore. Why don't you double up, play the red and the black? It's safer.
I'll stay with the numbers. 50,000 on 15. There. Spin it.
It's okay, Joe. I'm still covering.
Well, it's your money, Mr. Nogales. Number 4 pays. Number 4 and the red again.
Well, 25 grand more on 15.
Look, Mr. Kilcourse, go on, enjoy yourself. Take it off your income tax, but please spread them out a little there, those chips, huh? It looks bad for the house.
What kind of a joint is this? Can't you cover the bets?
Okay, Joe. He asked for it.
Okay, sir.
I didn't wait to see where the little ball went on the last spin of the wheel. I would have made a side bet with any taker that Kilcourse wanted to lose that $100 grand. I would also have made book he knew I was following him. As I left the table and walked out of the club, I braced myself for what usually comes next. There would either be a dead body in the car or somebody would crease my noggin with a sap. But nothing happened. I switched on the headlights and stood in the glare of them for fully a minute, but nobody even shot at me. I flushed the shrubbery. No gunman. Checked the ignition wires. No booby traps. Driving back to town, I racked my brain for some way to bring them out into the open. I felt like a man with his life savings all on one number, waiting for the wheel to stop spinning, which wasn't far from the truth. Not much of a cliffhanger, but the best we could do this week.
The makers of Wild Root Cream Oil are presenting the weekly Sunday adventure of Dashiell Hammett's famous private detective, Sam Spade.
He goes, not much of a cliffhanger, but that's all we got this week. Funny. And I'm dropping stuff all over. Oh, God, I had to go under the table.
Now, here's important news on good grooming. If you want the well-groomed look that helps you get ahead, socially and on the job, listen. Recently, thousands of people from coast to coast who bought Wild Root Cream Oil for the first time were asked, how does Wild Root Cream Oil compare with the hair tonic you previously used? The results were amazing. Better than 4 out of 5 who replied said they preferred Wild Root Cream Oil. Remember, non-alcoholic Wild Root Cream Oil contains lanolin. It grooms the hair naturally, relieves dryness, and removes loose, ugly dandruff. So if you want your hair to be more attractive than ever before, get the generous new 25-cent size of Wild Root Cream Oil, America's leading hair tonic, on sale at all drug and toilet goods counters. It's also available in larger economy bottles and the handy new tube. Get Wild Root Cream Oil. Again and again, the choice of men who put good grooming first. By the way, smart girls use Wild Root Cream Oil, too. And mothers say it's grand for training children's hair. And now, back to the hot 100 grand caper. Tonight's adventure with Sam Spade.
Yeah?
This Mrs. Kilcourse's apartment?
Yeah?
She here?
Yeah?
Well, can I come in?
Yeah?
Tommy?
Yeah?
Who is that, Mr. Spade?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the detective I was telling you about, Tommy. Remember?
Yeah?
The one who looked so much like you?
Yeah?
No.
Oh, excuse me. This is my brother, Tommy Lane.
Yeah. I mean,
Tommy, won't you run down to the corner and buy me some cigarettes for about 20 minutes? I have something to talk over with Mr. Spade.
Yeah.
Nice boy, your brother. Small vocabulary, but big feet.
Well, he's shy. Now, what did you find out about my husband, Mr. Spade?
He dropped 100 grand in a gambling joint. Ernie Nogales' racket club. You know it?
No, but I know Ernie Nogales. I knew him in Reno before I met Leonard. He lost his license there for running a crooked wheel.
The way Kilcourse was playing tonight, that wheel didn't have to be crooked. He was trying to lose that $100,000.
But why? Why would he do a thing like that?
One of two reasons. Either he's paying off to Nogales or he's paying off to somebody else, and Nogales is the go-between.
Well, I don't believe it. Ernie is a crooked gambler, but he doesn't touch blackmail.
And your husband isn't stupid enough to drop $100,000 in 3 turns of a wheel. Anyway, I'm not tangled with him and or the Ernie Nogales mob for $100 of your money or anybody else's. Here, take it.
Well,
and here are your car keys.
No, wait, please. You can't desert me now.
Why not?
Well, I haven't told you everything. I'd hoped I wouldn't have to.
About your brother?
How did you know?
The only place you get a green suntan is in a pokey. Besides, he acts kind of stir-crazy. Spent a little time in solitary, didn't he?
He won't talk about it. But that's it, Sam. That's why Leonard is paying that blackmail money to Nogales.
You just said Nogales wouldn't touch blackmail. Any other corrections you'd like to make in your copy before we proceed?
Yes. Well, I might as well tell you everything.
Why not?
I knew when I came to you this morning that my husband was paying this money to Nogales. I knew because I asked him to.
You and Ernie Nogales are working together?
I'm not that rotten.
I didn't say you were, but you're a rotten liar. There's that much in your favor.
But I'm telling the truth now, Sam. You must believe me. Everything that has happened is my fault. I persuaded Nogales to give my brother a job in his place in Reno.
Mm-hmm.
They quarreled, and when he got closed down, he blamed Tommy. He swore he'd kill him when he got out of prison. That's why I begged my husband to pay him to save Tommy's life.
Who did rat on Nogales about that crooked wheel in Reno?
I did. That's why I feel responsible. Leonard is so fine, so generous. But I can't let him go on paying for my mistake.
Yeah, like you said, he's going to run out of money.
Look at me, Sam. Do I look like the kind of a woman to whom money means everything in the world?
No, but you're looking at me, not at Kilcourse.
You're laughing at me. Oh, I know what you think. Perhaps I did make a mistake in marrying Leonard, but he was so kind, so considerate. Like my father.
Everybody reminds you of your relatives.
You don't believe my story?
Well, since you asked.
Well, all right, then. Here's the truth. I'm really Jack the Ripper's granddaughter. My parents were terribly wealthy. I harpooned my mother in her Beverly Hills swimming pool, set fire to my father with a $50,000 negotiable bond, and eloped with John Wilkes Booth. That brings us up to 1865. Shall I go on?
Don't stop. It's great.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here and leave me alone.
After you've told me all your secrets, I'm not that rotten.
You won't help me. You never intended to. Why go on torturing me?
Oh, now, stop that. Please. I believe you. I believe all your stories. Now, what is my next smart move?
Sam, the only way to stop Ernie Nogales is to prove that he's running a crooked wheel. And then he'd pay back all that blackmail money, and he wouldn't dare lay a hand on Tommy.
Well, it's going to be hard to prove and expensive. I'll have to lose a little on that wheel before I can figure the way it's rigged. How much can you invest?
Well, I have about $1,000 of my own.
With you?
Yes. Here. You take it.
Smells nice.
Sam.
Yeah?
Sam, after all this is over, and after I've put things to right with Leonard, I should have told him before this, but I owed him so much. Oh, Sam, I'm so glad it's you.
Yeah. Me too, Angel.
Go now, darling, before I beg you not to.
What time does that joint close?
Well, it runs all night, I think.
Good. Let's stay up late and raid the icebox. Around 2 in the a.m., when I low-geared the Plymouth up the long, steep driveway to Ernie Nogales' racket club, backed into the parking space nearest the road with a car headed downhill for a quick getaway, just in case, and I went in. The joint was still going full blast. I bought $500 worth of chips, swaggered over to the table where Kilcourse had dropped his $100,000, and nonchalantly flipped the blue chip onto the red.
Appalachia bets, ladies and gentlemen. Make your game. Okay, that's all. Around and round the little ball goes.
I didn't look to see where the little ball went. Most of the money was on red, so it was bound to turn up black.
A red pays.
What?
Number 15. Place your bets, please. Make your game, ladies and gentlemen. Around and round it goes.
The chips were spread around more the next turn, so I stacked 100 at the bottom of the 1 to 34 column. With a crooked wheel, my 100 made it the best bet to lose.
And 19, and the red wins again.
Hey! I plunked $500 down on number 5 and raked in $17,500. I left my original bet on the table. When the little ball fell into the pocket, I was $35,000 to the good from my point of view, but not from my clients. I doubled my bet and looked apprehensively around. There were no surly characters edging up behind me. In fact, the only surly character in sight was Ernie Nogales, and he looked happy. That didn't make much sense. When my bankroll got to $105,000, I played a hunch. I threw $5,000 of it back on the table and lost it. That made a kind of sense. I cashed in the rest of my chips and squeezed the $100,000 U.S. currency into my inside pocket. If anybody aimed for my heart, it was thick enough to stop the slug, which was some comfort. But what I saw when I walked out to the parking lot was no comfort at all. I'd gotten just a glimpse of it through some trees. A sedan backed into a driveway halfway down the hill. It was blacked out except for 5 glowing cigar ends that showed through the windows. I could think of only one reason for 5 cigar smokers to be parked in that particular spot at that particular moment. The Plymouth was where I had parked it, pointing straight down the hill. I slammed the door but didn't get in. Then I listened. The car down the hill was getting ready, too. I cracked the door of the Plymouth wide enough to get my arm inside and pressed the starter with the heel of my hand. I switched on the lights, pushed the clutch with my left hand, used my right to shift it into low. Then I pulled the hand throttle out all the way and let it go.
What's the big idea busting into my office?
We're going to have a talk, Nogales.
Please, don't wave that heater at me. It makes me nervous. I don't like guns.
I don't either. That's why I'm here. Put your hands on top of the desk and keep them there.
All right. Give me back that roll. I give you clean money for it. It was a gamble, so I lost. Can you blame me?
Where'd you get this money?
I buy it. 50 cents on the dollar. I don't ask where it came from, but I read the papers. I figured it was that shipyard payroll job a few days back. Like it just fell in my lap. I figured it'd make $50,000 instead of Kilcore's 5. I guess that was dirty trick you just out of stir, Tommy, huh?
I got news for you, Nogales. I didn't know this money was hot, and I am not Tommy Lane.
No? Then what?
Private Dick. Tommy's sister hired me to take the fall for him. Look, I've got most of the caper. Kilcourse wanted to pay Tommy $100,000. You rigged the wheel so Kilcourse would lose it one night and Tommy would win it back the next night. Now, what was Kilcourse paying him off for?
No caper, legitimate. He was sent up for bribing a public official.
You mean he was the payoff man for Kilcourse's contracting firm?
Sure, legitimate business. And the grand jury went out after Kilcourse. Tommy took the rap, that's all, for a price.
Yeah, $100,000. Thanks, Nogales. That's all I needed.
Oh, Sam, I was afraid I might be too late.
You are, sweetheart.
Oh, I have so many things to explain. Where can you talk?
Right in here.
But who's this man?
Why, that's your old sweetie from Reno, Ernie Nogales, remember?
What's the matter with you two? You crazy?
Oh, Sam, I should have told you the truth from the beginning.
Check. The Nogales yarn, I can understand, but why did you tell me you were Kilcourse's wife?
I was desperate. I had to say something. It was the only explanation I could think of for my interest in this case without telling the truth.
But you were making a pigeon out of me.
I don't know about such things, Sam. All I know is I'm here in time to warn you. You mustn't walk out of here with that money.
Listen.
They may kill you to get it back.
They already did. They're combing the wreckage of that car right now, looking for my body.
Then Tommy was right. They did mean to kill him.
How'd he get the rumble?
While he was in prison, from another man that Kilcourse framed. He was in for life, so it was safe for him to talk.
Hey, you two.
Oh.
Yeah, Nogales?
That car that just drove up. I think that's Mr. Kilcourse.
Oh,
Yeah, what's your hurry?
Let me go.
Come on, what's your hurry?
Tommy's out there in that cab. I've got to warn him.
Or tip off Kilcourse. Which is it?
No, Sam, you've got to believe me.
Sit down. Stop that.
You two have fun. I'm getting out of here.
Go ahead. Now, listen, sweet Lorraine, you may as well save your breath for those explanations. You're staying right here until the caper's all wrapped up.
Here he comes. Have you got a gun, Sam?
Yeah.
Well, you'd better have it ready.
Mm-mm.
But Sam...
Where's Nogales? I want to see him.
He was called out of town, sir. I'm in charge. You Mr. Kilcourse?
That's right. I want to know why you people have been interfering with my business. It might interest you to know that this building site's on an old Spanish land grant. Title's very shaky. I'll run an 8-lane highway straight through the middle of it and turn the rest of it into a game preserve. That's what I do to people who double-cross me.
I tried to tell Mr. Nogales that, sir. He wouldn't listen to me. He tipped Tommy off for a split of the $100,000, but I knew sooner or later we'd have to answer to you, Mr. Kilcourse.
Oh, well, what's that?
Here's your $100,000, sir. Count it.
Sam.
Well. What's your name, son?
Sam Spade, sir.
Well, I'm glad to meet an honest lad. Well, come along. You too, young lady. We'll all walk out together.
Sam, what are you... What?
Spade, huh?
Yes, sir. I'm a private detective, but I'm ambitious.
Politics?
Yes, sir.
Well, we'll run you for assembly. In the meantime, I believe there's an opening in one of the public services. Garbage disposal. Executive end, of course. Where the devil is that man with my car? Oh, there he is. You drop around to my office in the morning.
Thank you, and good night, Mr. Kilcourse.
Drive on, Horace. Back to the city.
Oh, Sam. How could you? All those lies and just handing over the money like that. It wasn't yours.
It wasn't Tommy's either, sweetheart. Get in.
Well, Tommy, are you all right?
Yeah.
Drive us across the bridge, Tommy, will you?
Yeah.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy, I'm afraid we'll have to do without the money.
Yeah.
Sam gave it to Mr. Kilcourse.
Yeah.
Now, don't get excited, Tommy. I'm sure Sam had a reason. Didn't you, Sam?
Yeah. I mean, that was marked money from a payroll job.
Oh, then it won't do him any good.
It'll send him up for a good long stretch if the eyewitness story that goes along with it is good enough. And you're just the girl to tell it, sweetheart. Am I right, Tommy?
Yeah.
Period. End of report.
Already? But Sam.
Yeah?
What happened? Who were the 5 men in the car, the ones who shot at that Plymouth in the mistaken belief that you were in it?
Their names are of little account, Effie. Suffice it to say that Kilcourse pointed his pudgy finger at them in the hopes of keeping the charge of attempted murder out of his indictment. But I was too clever. I identified them.
But, Sam, you didn't see anything but their cigars glowing in the darkness.
Have you never heard of Sherlock Holmes' monograph on the 49 varieties of tobacco ash, you fool?
But, Sam, Sherlock Holmes is only the segment of someone's imagination. He's a fictional detective.
But, Sam...
You mean...
Sam...
Oh, Sam, you're tired.
Take a look at the
It's
steps.
affected your mind, winning all that money. Now, you just sit here and rest.
All right.
Think of the snowy mountaintops and blue skies. I'll just go and type this up.
Snowy mountaintops. Winter sports yet.
And now, listen to this. If you haven't yet tried Wild Root Cream Oil, the famous hair tonic that grooms your hair neatly and naturally, relieves dryness, and removes loose dandruff, then here's a wonderful way to get acquainted. Buy Wild Root Cream Oil in the new 25-cent size bottle at your drug or toilet goods counter. Also, ask your barber for a professional application of Wild Root Cream Oil Hair Tonic. Again and again, the choice of men who put good grooming first.
Well, here it is, Sam. And not that it made any difference, but how did you guess that she wasn't Mrs. Kilcourse?
Simple. Kilcourse didn't recognize her.
But, Sam, that was after you denounced her.
I did no such thing.
From the report, Sam, in black and white. Quote, why did you tell me you were Kilcourse's wife? Unquote. At that point, you assumed that she was not Mrs. Leonard Kilcourse.
I did not. I merely wondered why she had told me.
Well, with all the lies she told, you might have assumed anything she said was totally devoid of truth.
And I did, sweetheart. I did.
Oh, well, that's a relief. I was afraid for a while she'd taken you in.
What's that got to do with the truth?
Good night, Sam.
Good night, sweetheart.
The Adventures of Sam Spade, Dashiell Hammett's famous private detective, are produced and directed by William Spear. Sam Spade is played by Howard Duff. Lorene Tuttle is Effie. Sadie Thompson appeared as Lorraine Kilcourse. The Adventures of Sam Spade are written for radio by Bob Tallman and Gil Dowd. Musical direction by Lud Gluskin. Score composed by Renee Garrigang. Join us again next Sunday when author Dashiell Hammett and producer William Spear join forces for another adventure with Sam Spade. Brought to you by Wild Root Cream Oil. Again and again, the choice of men who put good grooming first. This is Dick Joy reminding you to
get Wild Root Cream Oil, Charlie. It keeps your hair in trim. You see, it's non-alcoholic, Charlie. It's made with soothing lanolin. You better get Wild Root Cream Oil, Charlie. Start using it today. You'll find that you will have a tough time, Charlie. Keeping all the gals away. Hiya, Baldy. Get Wild Root right away.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Okay, there you go. Sam Spade, hot $100 caper. Yeah, all I can say, you guys, is I hope it's coming across as good on the video when I hold it up, how cool it looks. But the staircase, it looks just like an Old West, like Chris said, the way they use it, the colors as wood, just looks really, really good. The railings, they look really detailed. And I've put the same exact railings together on Lego sets, and sometimes they don't fit perfectly. I did not have a problem with this at all. They fit in there nice and snug and perfect. I don't know what to say. It is what it is. But yeah, this is looking sweet when it's lit up. I mean, you got the staircase, which is coming up here to the top floor. The poker table, the bar back there. The bar looks really, really cool. With the stools in front, I want to sit there. I want to sit there, relax. I don't drink, but I would ask the saloon keeper for a ginger ale. Did they make that back? And the porch too. I mean, I love it. I love everything about this, man. This is really, really good. Let's see. Get Wild Root, Charlie. Anything? Another good story. Yes, definitely a good story. For sure. Let's see. Should I keep going for another half hour, or should I end it here? I've been doing about 2.5 hours. Sarsaparilla. Let's see. Yeah, amazing, isn't it, Chris? You know what? Let me look up something here real quick. Sorry, you guys. I'm just checking out here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to... Let's see. What am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to setting up... I'm interested... not interested. I'm excited to work on some more details to the city, especially the brick wall and the wharf and all of that. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Just looking at something really quick. Okay, that doesn't help me out at all. You know what I watched? If you guys are into horror films, there's a new movie that just came out called by that M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong, M. Night Shyamalan, whatever shit. You know what I'm talking about. It's called The Watchers. I sat down and watched it with my daughter last night. It has to do with, believe it or not, you know what? Maybe I won't even say that. But it's creatures in the woods, and they get not lost in the woods, but are taking the one girl's taking a trip. It's a really interesting twist. Needless to say, her car disappears, everything disappears. She has to go into this like cabin type thing where there's this giant mirror where these creatures come out at night and look at them through the mirror, but they don't know what they look like. But eventually you do see what it is. And then there's a twist ending. I won't say nothing about it, but I can't recommend that enough. It's a good M. Night movie where he gives a good twist ending at the towards the end of the movie, and incorporates a little bit different. It's similar in ways to The Village, but different. It's hard to explain. All I can say is, not a lot of new horror movies and stuff do I really even care about. But this one I sat down and watched, and without giving anything away, I think, take my word for it, it's a really, really good movie where you get a twist ending. And I always like when they're kind of lost in the woods. There's a show out there on, what is it on? Is it on Paramount, I think? No. MGM. On Amazon, you could get MGM, and there's a series. There's only 2 seasons so far. I believe the 3rd season is going to be coming out. It's called From. That's it. That's the name of the series. And it's in the same vein as Lost, but it's horror related. And again, without giving anything away, that certain people are taken to this town where they can't leave, they can't get out. If they try to take a road, it leads them right back down to the same place. But horror elements, these things that come out at night, very, very cool. I know I'm going in a horror direction here now on Dino Brickhaven, but it's a really cool series too. It just got me thinking because of the movie I watched. But Amazon has it. It is $19.99. You can wait till it comes out, and is cheaper. But at the moment, it's like going to the movie theater. I was with my daughter, and I'm like going, well, we're actually going to pay more than that to go to a movie theater. So if I'm paying $19.99 on the big 4K screen, and it was a great experience. It's like $10 a person. It's like going to the movies back in the day. Even though I don't even know how much a ticket is now. I haven't been in a movie theater in like, holy heck, 6 years? Yes, believe it or not, 5, 6 years. I watch everything on the TV because it's right there. But this was a newer movie, and I plunged the $19.99 to watch The Watchers. And it was so refreshing to see something good. That's all I have to say. Anyways, thanks for the recommendations. I love his movies. So he had a little lull there. That movie Old. He had a little lull there, and hopefully he's back to making some good stuff. This one was definitely good. At Christmas time, Dino's going to have the best Christmas town for celebrating in. Oh yeah. Listen, it will become, Dino Brickhaven will decorate on holidays. There will be strings of light going down the city for a Christmas scene. So I will be doing stuff like that. Same thing with Halloween, with the haunted house and the cemetery in front. I'm learning techniques on making gravestones and stuff like that. And they're pretty easy. So I will be doing that. Evening Old Time Radio says, yep, same, like 9 years here. Yeah, it's been a long time. I mean, we had that thing, what, is it going on 4 years ago now? Kept everybody away from everything. But even prior to that, three years, somewhere around, I don't know. It's been a long time. That's all I have to say. I figure why. But I've been tempted lately to go and check out the big screen for a couple movies. I wanted to see the new Planet of the Apes movie at the theater because I'm such a big Planet of the Apes fan, and I wanted to go to the theater to see that, but I didn't get to do that. But I may splurge on that one too on the TV because I don't want to wait like back in the day. Remember, you would have to wait at least a year before it made it to TV. In some ways, those were the good old days. You anticipated and you would wait for those movies to come to the TV. But yeah, I don't think I want to wait that long. Children of the Corn, they couldn't get out. of the town. I remember Edward Stewart. Yeah. Children of the Corn. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they circled the dirt roads or something like that. And I think you're right, Edward. I do think you're right. But anyways, and that was a good movie. That was a really good movie. Way too much at the theaters today. Your whole paycheck plus concession. That's what I'm talking about, Edward. Plus, I don't know. Nowadays, it's ingrained in my head not to have somebody in back of me coughing and talking. It's a shame. It's a shame. It is ridiculous, man. Peace, Sean. I do think I'm going to end this here, and there will be another stream. I don't know if I'll end up putting some of this stuff on on my own, and then Saturday I will be streaming more of this build. Whether it's near completion and we can get it all in that day is another story. We shall see. But yeah, movie night tomorrow, 8 o'clock, over at the Late Late Horror Show. If you remember, you'll see the you'll have the link there. I'll re-put it up again. But Hellraiser 3 and Dino Brickhaven. I just hope for this channel to keep growing. And listen, I can't get anybody from Late Late Horror Show to get over here at all. I've gotten you guys, but it's hard to get anybody over there. I should do a stream letting people know what I'm doing over on this channel. That I'm actually playing some old time radio shows as I build it, so maybe they would come on over. That might help. But yeah, I'd like this channel to start getting up, and I'd like to start focusing most of my time over here. I think that's what I've been doing. With that said, I don't think there's going to be a stream on the Late Late Horror Show tonight. A lot of people have been disappearing anyways. They're going elsewhere. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. As an evening of old time radio can attest to, when you're up against let's see, one channel doing 8 live streams at the same time, another channel doing 6 and you can go to your analytics. And listen, I love all you guys in chat. Thank you guys for always supporting and being there. But you can see your analytics on the channels that people are going to, and it's those ones, again, yeah, I'm not going to say nothing bad. Quality sucks and repeats. But anyways, it's just going, and like I said, I've been going through this for months and months and months on the Late Late Horror Show, whether to just stop the overnights or not, because, and I don't think I'm going to stop them completely, but there is days like, I think tonight, I'm not going to stream. That's all. Past few nights, it's been getting lower and lower and lower, and I'm like going, where is everybody going? Where's everybody going? And evidently, over there. So, I've got a catalog of I don't know how many shows for 5 years. But anyways, I don't want to ramble on. Let's see. A freaking men. Yes, evening, Greg, man. I tell you. Listen, if you do want to hear quality streams when I'm not streaming too, or whatever, he works on his audio on his streams too. That's a better place to go than a lot of the other ones when he does stream, when Greg streams over there at an evening of old time radio. But yeah, I listen, the first couple years it was rough. I didn't fix audio and nothing like that, but they still get good views. But past couple years definitely have put the effort into cleaning a lot of those up. A lot of people are just, oh sure, I'm going to just put it all up. That's all. 8 streams. Anyways, thanks, that was fun. You're welcome, Edward Stewart. Hopefully I'll see you movie night tomorrow. If not, that's all right. You are number one. Thank you, JLR. Listen, much love to each and every one of you guys. Yeah, I'm going to go now. Dino, we love what you do. I know, Connie. You guys, again, I love y'all. Harry, Chris, you guys all know who you are. I'm done. I will see you Saturday night to hopefully finish this up. And again, tonight, no live stream overnight tonight. I think I'm taking that off. So again, there's plenty up there to listen to. But thank you guys very much. And I love you guys as always.